Operator Mike here once again from the Delta Force Community Squad. Frozen tundra, rocky terrain, and icebergs. The landscape may be cold, but the battle is about to heat up. Strive to reach the peak and give it all you got. First, secure the beachhead. Your final objective looms far in the distance. Traverse the intersecting ravines, and you'll arrive at Havoc's temporary camp. Make good use of vehicles to launch an assault. Under the icebergs lies a critical Havoc facility. Destroy them with firepower in one fell swoop. Ride the zip line all the way to the top. Before you reach the end, execute a pincer move and clear the cave. Regroup with squad mates at the tunnel gate. It's the only way to the summit. Push through the cave. Up here in the clouds, bullets fly in all directions. Here, the final battle is about to begin. Operators, are you ready to gamble with fate?
Operators, get ready. This battle ain't gonna be easy. In Havoc Warfare, you will enter a war-torn battlefield, playing as attackers or defenders. Cooperate with squad mates and utilize land, sea, and air vehicles as you fight for strategic objectives across the map. In a game of attack and defend, a total of 64 operators will enter the battlefield, divided into attacking and defending factions. As the attackers, you need to break through enemy defenses and capture all strategic objectives to successfully secure the sector. Capture all enemy sectors to secure victory. As the defenders, you need to repel enemy attacks, hold your sectors, and defend strategic objectives. If the enemy's attacking forces are exhausted and they haven't captured all sectors, you get the win. Before entering the battlefield, make sure to prepare in advance. This is where you can choose your operator. All weapons and attachments can be unlocked by gaining XP from completing matches. Prepare your loadout in advance so that you are fully equipped and ready to adapt on the battlefield. Each operator has unique traits, gadgets, and weapons. Assault operators have stronger combat abilities and move faster while aiming down sights. Support operators are ready to provide backup and keep the team in the fight. Engineer operators can repair vehicles and aircraft, and recon operators are experts in intelligence warfare, using their recon stations to gather combat information. Upon entering the battlefield, each operator will join a 4-person squad. Attackers advance to the nearest enemy-controlled sector and launch the assault. Defenders will deploy directly at the first objective, and will need to quickly set up defenses. The objectives will be shown on the mini-map. Boundaries are also visible on the HUD. If the incoming attackers have a numerical advantage, they will begin to capture the objective. The defending team will first lose their control of the objective before the attackers can start to claim it, increasing their control until the objective is captured. When all objectives in the sector are controlled, the sector is successfully captured. The next sector will not immediately open, giving defenders some time to regroup. If you are downed and cannot be revived, hold spacebar to give up and redeploy. Select a controlled strategic objective on the map. Deploying nearby is safest, but you will also end up being further from the front lines. Or, if a squad mate is not in combat and there is space near them, deploying around them will allow you to quickly return to the front line. Deploying directly into a vehicle heading to the front line is also a good option. Brave recon operators can also place a respawn beacon just outside an enemy objective, allowing you to sprint directly to the objective after deploying. Of course, operators can also use the escape key to redeploy, quickly changing their operators and gear in order to adapt to the situation on the ground. While redeployment is convenient, attackers must keep an eye on their remaining reinforcements, which starts at 300. If an operator is downed but rescued by a teammate, reinforcements are not used. But those who are downed and give up will consume reinforcements. After capturing a sector, you'll receive a boost to reinforcements. Once all reinforcements have been exhausted, the attackers are defeated. So, an effective assault strategy is crucial. Vehicles are key to avoid consuming reinforcements. For example, the high mobility of ATVs and ORVs allows for rapid infiltration. while the tank offers devastating firepower. Coordinate with squad mates to quickly break through defenses and suppress the opponent's counterattack. Assault vehicles can smash through blockades, allowing troops to deploy near objectives and reducing the loss of reinforcements. Attack helicopters can strike quickly and cover large distances. Defenders don't need to worry about reinforcements. Instead, they can focus on utilizing all defensive assets at their disposal to withstand the enemy's attack. Even when all hope seems lost, there is always a chance for a comeback. Use military-ranked scores earned in combat to call in guided missiles, to eliminate enemy forces in the area and regain the upper hand. Upgrade your loadout. Deploy tactical offense and defense to dominate on the battlefield. Grab your weapon, operator, and prepare for havoc warfare.
Operator Mike here once again from the Delta Force Community Squad. Welcome to the strategic heart of the coastal desert, operators. This is Cracked. Traverse the rolling sand dunes, and the ruined desert city comes into view. Cross the highway. The temporary command HQ is just ahead, a strategic hub connecting all routes. Past the stone gate, where the once proud buildings now lay in ruins. A sorry sight. Watch for incoming fire from the rooftops. The battle starts in a flash. Fire erupts, smoke fills the air. Military supply stash. Easy to defend, hard to attack. Opening more fronts is the only valid strategy. Deep in the town lies the office area courtyard, the final line of defense. A fierce contest between metal and flesh plays out across this isolated land. No guts, no glory, operators.
Intelligence indicates that Havoc is amassing strength for a new conspiracy. Operators, we must eliminate their plot before it takes root.
Requesting vehicle airdrop.
There's nowhere to retreat to. Do not let this sector fall.
Operator Mike here once again from the Delta Force Community Squad. Frozen tundra, rocky terrain, and icebergs. The landscape may be cold, but the battle is about to heat up. Strive to reach the peak and give it all you got. First, secure the beachhead. Your final objective looms far in the distance. Traverse the intersecting ravines, and you'll arrive at Havoc's temporary camp. Make good use of vehicles to launch an assault. Under the icebergs lies a critical Havoc facility. Destroy them with firepower in one fell swoop. Ride the zipline all the way to the top. Before you reach the end, execute a pincer move and clear the cave. Regroup with squad mates at the tunnel gate. It's the only way to the summit. Push through the cave. Up here in the clouds, bullets fly in all directions. Here, the final battle is about to begin. Operators, are you ready to gamble with fate?
Operators, get ready. This battle ain't gonna be easy. In Havoc Warfare, you will enter a war-torn battlefield, playing as attackers or defenders. Cooperate with squad mates and utilize land, sea, and air vehicles as you fight for strategic objectives across the map. In a game of attack and defend, a total of 64 operators will enter the battlefield, divided into attacking and defending factions. As the attackers, you need to break through enemy defenses and capture all strategic objectives to successfully secure the sector. Capture all enemy sectors to secure victory. As the defenders, you need to repel enemy attacks, hold your sectors, and defend strategic objectives. If the enemy's attacking forces are exhausted and they haven't captured all sectors, you get the win. Before entering the battlefield, make sure to prepare in advance. This is where you can choose your operator. All weapons and attachments can be unlocked by gaining XP from completing matches. Prepare your loadout in advance so that you are fully equipped and ready to adapt on the battlefield. Each operator has unique traits, gadgets, and weapons. Assault operators have stronger combat abilities and move faster while aiming down sights. Support operators are ready to provide backup and keep the team in the fight. Engineer operators can repair vehicles and aircraft, and recon operators are experts in intelligence warfare, using their recon stations to gather combat information. Upon entering the battlefield, each operator will join a 4-person squad. Attackers advance to the nearest enemy-controlled sector and launch the assault. Defenders will deploy directly at the first objective and will need to quickly set up defenses. The objectives will be shown on the mini-map. Boundaries are also visible on the HUD. If the incoming attackers have a numerical advantage, they will begin to capture the objective. The defending team will first lose their control of the objective before the attackers can start to claim it, increasing their control until the objective is captured. When all objectives in the sector are controlled, the sector is successfully captured. The next sector will not immediately open, giving defenders some time to regroup. If you are downed and cannot be revived, hold spacebar to give up and redeploy. Select a controlled strategic objective on the map. Deploying nearby is safest, but you will also end up being further from the front lines. Or, if a squad mate is not in combat and there is space near them, deploying around them will allow you to quickly return to the front line. Deploying directly into a vehicle heading to the front line is also a good option. Brave recon operators can also place a respawn beacon just outside an enemy objective, allowing you to sprint directly to the objective after deploying. Of course, operators can also use the escape key to redeploy, quickly changing their operators and gear in order to adapt to the situation on the ground. While redeployment is convenient, attackers must keep an eye on their remaining reinforcements, which starts at 300. If an operator is downed but rescued by a teammate, reinforcements are not used. But those who are downed and give up will consume reinforcements. After capturing a sector,
welcome
you'll
to
receive
the Delta Force U.S. Campus Showdown. The ultimate collegiate esports battleground has arrived. 8 prestigious universities, 16 powerhouse teams, and 1 unmissable competition. The first ever Delta Force collegiate competition. But before we jump into the action, let me introduce my partner in crime with sharp analysis and unmatched energy, T-Mags. Joining me at the casting desk, private dancer here. How are you feeling, T-Mags?
I'm super excited. I can't wait to see all these colleges go at it. As we talked about earlier, this is going to be West Coast versus East Coast colleges. They're going to go head to head. Super excited. I myself was born and raised on the West Coast, so I'm definitely going to be cheering on for the West side.
I myself am an East Coast baby, so I'm representing that East side. Speaking of which, let's take a look at some of the universities that will be participating here today.
Oh, look at that. We have University of Texas, Austin. We got the webcam going. This is pretty neat. Look at, they're smiling. They know that they're live. They're looking at us. Come on, let's get some fist bumps up there. Come on, let's see that.
Yeah, they're ready, willing, and able. Next up on the docket, UCLA. No smiles there. That is all concentration, all focus. They are ready to take names here today. Looking to kind of crash in here. Still focused there on the west side as well.
They look like if they're standing on business.
Yeah, they're definitely ready. I mean, they're just ready to go ahead and get this thing going for most of us. I mean, I'm excited. Right now we're talking about Delta Force, a game that just came out a little, I want to say under a week ago. Right now that it's every, and people have been grinding their hearts out, especially with how fun a lot of these modes are.
Yes, absolutely. So the game came out December 5th. I believe it's open beta. It's available to download on Steam, so make sure you guys download it. Currently, the map that the mode that they're going to be playing with is going to be Warfare. Of course, the game offers you many operators, which one of my favorite is D-Wolf, right? The class of D-Wolf is an assault. It has motorized exoskeleton, triple blaster, tactical smoke, and a tactical slag. Now, Private, what's your operator? Who do you go?
Man, let me tell you, I've played D-Wolf before, and all that results in me is kind of running out into the front line and seeing nothing but black because I get shot down so quickly. I prefer, I want to say, a little laid back approach, and laid back, I use that term loosely for a chaos mode like Warfare, but I prefer a support role like Stinger, who's got the Hive tech pistol, which he can use to keep allies up, to kind of regen people very quickly. He's also got one of my favorite abilities, which is the Hive tech smoke grenade, which he can send out a plume of smoke that you can guide with your drone to kind of help separate you from the enemy and give your team that strategic advantage.
Copy that. Now, my other favorite operator is Luna. Luna, her class is Recon. She has a detection arrow that she just grabs, shoots, and detects all enemies. Of course, she also has the Volt arrow, the frag grenade, and marks enemies after damage, which is pretty cool.
Ooh, man, I'm excited. We're going to go ahead and take a look at some of these players. You look at these battle-hardened warriors here, steely-eyed, flat-bellied, and ready to take on all comers.
Look at them. They're all excited. They're all pumped. They're all talking to their teammates, getting a game plan going. I wonder what their game plan is. I wish we could get some comms in there, but those comms are going to be within the team because they don't want to leak out any secrets. Look at Longhorns down below, throwing up the horns, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, they are ready. See the Gators there as well. I'm excited too, especially seeing all the different kind of setups that we have. We've got everything from people inside, when you want to see those communal labs, to people in their dorms ready to rock and roll. And I want to say that, especially with a game like this, with as many options as you were talking about before, whether it's what type of operator you go for, what type of class you're going with, comms are going to be so important for the coordination of this game, whether you're going to be an attacker, whether you're going to be a defender, and how well you can be successful in this game as well.
100%. Now let's check out our influencers that will be joining on today's match. We have Sierra, surely not Sierra. She's going to be live on the YouTube channel. She'll be supporting the West Coast, so all eyes are going to be on her. Hopefully she could do some damage.
And bringing up the East Coast, Mia, you can see her there. I was asking you this before. Do you believe that VTubers can feel fear? Because I think we're about to find out with this game.
I'm not sure, actually. I mean, it's do they eat as well? I mean, you know, a lot of questions. VTubers.
It might just be that robotic menace that the East Side needs to kind of push them forward. No fear of death, just all courage and running forward. And they're going to need it for a lot of these maps as well, because there's just so many obstacles, so many different things that they're going to need to overcome.
Yes, and today's tournament format, we'll be playing 4 matches. 2 matches will be taking place in Ascension. The other 2 matches will be cracked. Now, the teams here, right? We're talking about East Coast and West Coast. The first match, we will have the East Coast as the attacker and the West Coast as the defender. And match 2, they will pretty much switch sides and be West Coast will be attacking and East Coast will be defending.
Yeah, we get to find out, especially since East Coast will be starting things off on the beaches, kind of storming those beaches as an attacker. We're going to see what kind of strategic abilities that they use, what they're going to be going with, and if that plays a role when the roles are reversed on that very same map. It's going to be very exciting to see and wonder as we get in. This is what everybody is fighting for. When the chaos is over, when the smoke has cleared, this is what is going to be going down. $8,000 total prize pool, first place. The first place team, after the stats have been calculated, will be getting $4,000 USD.
Yes, second and third place will be getting $1,000 each. 4th through 8 will get $400 each, and all participants will be receiving in-game awards. I wonder what those in-game awards are. Are they vehicle skins? Are they weapon skins? Are they operator skins? Call tags? I mean, you name it. What is it gonna be? I want some of that. I need some of those in-game rewards as well.
Yeah, they've got already in the game a bunch of additional little goodies for you when it comes to even spray paint that you can throw out there, or how you can decorate your character. But man, let's get into it. We were talking about warfare mode. In a single word, it just is chaos. But you don't have to take our word for it. Let's show you what it's all about.
Oh yeah.
Boost to reinforcements. Once all reinforcements have been exhausted, the attackers. Operators, get ready. This battle ain't gonna be easy. In Havoc Warfare, you will enter a war-torn battlefield, playing as attackers or defenders. Cooperate with squad mates and utilize land, sea, and air vehicles as you fight for strategic objectives across the map. In a game of attack and defend, a total of 64 operators will enter the battlefield, divided into attacking and defending factions. As the attackers, you need to break through enemy defenses and capture all strategic objectives to successfully secure the sector. Capture all enemy sectors to secure victory. As the defenders, you need to repel enemy attacks, hold your sectors, and defend strategic objectives. If the enemy's attacking forces are exhausted and they haven't captured all sectors, you get the win. Before entering the battlefield, make sure to prepare in advance. This is where you can choose your operator. All weapons and attachments can be unlocked by gaining XP from completing matches. Prepare your loadout in advance so that you are fully equipped and ready to adapt on the battlefield. Each operator has unique traits, gadgets, and weapons. Assault operators have stronger combat abilities and move faster while aiming down sights. Support operators are ready to provide backup and keep the team in the fight. Engineer operators can repair vehicles and aircraft, and recon operators are experts in intelligence warfare, using their recon stations to gather combat information. Upon entering the battlefield, each operator will join a 4-person squad. Attackers advance to the nearest enemy-controlled sector and launch the assault. Defenders will deploy directly at the first objective and will need to quickly set up defenses. The objectives will be shown on the mini-map. Boundaries are also visible on the HUD. If the incoming attackers have a numerical advantage, they will begin to capture the objective. The defending team will first lose their control of the objective before the attackers can start to claim it, increasing their control until the objective is captured. When all objectives in the sector are controlled, the sector is successfully captured. The next sector will not immediately open, giving defenders some time to regroup. If you are downed and cannot be revived, hold spacebar to give up and redeploy. Select a controlled strategic objective on the map. Deploying nearby is safest, but you will also end up being further from the front lines. Or, if a squad mate is not in combat and there is space near them, deploying around them will allow you to quickly return to the front line. Deploying directly into a vehicle heading to the front line is also a good option. Brave recon operators can also place a respawn beacon just outside an enemy objective, allowing you to sprint directly to the objective after deploying. Of course, operators can also use the escape key to redeploy, quickly changing their operators and gear in order to adapt to the situation on the ground. While redeployment is convenient, attackers must keep an eye on their remaining reinforcements. which starts at 300. If an operator is downed but rescued by a teammate, reinforcements are not used. But those who are downed and give up will consume reinforcements. After capturing a sector, you'll receive a boost to reinforcements. Once all reinforcements have been exhausted, the attackers are defeated. So, an effective assault strategy is crucial. Vehicles are key to avoid consuming reinforcements. For example, the high mobility of ATVs and ORVs allows for rapid infiltration, while the tank offers devastating firepower. Coordinate with squad mates to quickly break through defenses and suppress the opponent's counterattack. Assault vehicles can smash through blockades, allowing troops to deploy near objectives and reducing the loss of reinforcements. Attack helicopters can strike quickly and cover large distances. Defenders don't need to worry about reinforcements. Instead, they can focus on utilizing all defensive assets at their disposal to withstand the enemy's attack. Even when all hope seems lost, there is always a chance for a comeback. Use military rank scores earned in combat to call in guided missiles, to eliminate enemy forces in the area and regain the upper hand. Upgrade your loadout. Deploy tactical offense and defense to dominate on the battlefield. Grab your weapon, operator, and prepare for havoc warfare.
Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, absolute chaos. I don't even think that video does it justice, just exactly what you walk into. I know me and UT Max, we've played these modes, we've been in their warfare, we've seen everything exploding around us, bullets flying everywhere, being flanked, trying to rush, and it doesn't even do it justice. So many options for class, objectives, and strategies to implore here.
Vehicles, man, you can't forget about those vehicles. Getting on a helicopter, getting on an assault vehicle or a tank, absolute chaos right out of the bat. Now, our map that we're gonna be playing on is gonna be Ascension, a sprawling mountain terrain, multiple vertical layers with tactical routes. Players can use a high ground for sniping or traverse hidden pathways for sneak attacks. Key areas includes open fields, caves, and exposed ridges that promote diverse strategy and multiplayer gameplay. Balance for both range and close quarter combats, encouraging dynamic team coordination. It's a vertical design, offers opportunities for ambushes and choke points. And today we have East Coast being the attackers and defenders will be West Coast. Let's get into the video.
Operator Mike here once again from the Delta Force Community Squad. Frozen tundra, rocky terrain, and icebergs. The landscape may be cold, but the battle is about to heat up. Strive to reach the peak and give it all you got. First, secure the beachhead. Your final objective looms far in the distance. Traverse the intersecting ravines, and you'll arrive at Havoc's temporary camp. Make good use of vehicles to launch an assault. Under the icebergs lies a critical Havoc facility. Destroy them with firepower in one fell swoop. Ride the zipline all the way to the top. Before you reach the end, execute a pincer move and clear the cave. Regroup with squad mates at the tunnel gate. It's the only way to the summit. Push through the cave. Up here in the clouds, bullets fly in all directions. Here, the final battle is about to begin. Operators, are you ready to gamble with fate?
Ooh, exciting news there, especially for one of the two maps that we will be playing here today. It's been one of my favorite maps as well. I didn't really cover too much of it in well, they covered a lot of it in that video, but there's little things that I love about it, especially when it comes to right from the beginning, you're storming the beaches on your little boat there. It's like 2024's version of like storming the castle gates. Everything from the beach mode to the zip lines that you have to go up to. But ladies and gentlemen, they're not even gonna wait. They're getting right into it.
And there they are. We have the East Coast coming in and attacking, landing on the beachfront, while the West Coast is just trying to put pressure on them because they're coming in hot. Look at that.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about, man. Just storming the beaches on these boats. You're literal uphill uphill battle that you have here. As you can see, some of those vehicles already being taken up there as they try to go ahead and make their way up through what I believe is the first camp here on A side.
I'm just gonna go along the base of the cliff.
Yes, and we're currently seeing a lot of enemies going down, which in this case, I'll be calling the attackers enemies because I'm on the West Coast. So I'm going to be cheering on for the West Coast schools. Yeah, so here we have University of Florida, which is East Coast. He is one of the attackers. So he's looking down, trying to find any West Coast, but I think he needs to go back the other way. He needs to look up. That's where they're at.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about before. Stinger, on this support role, you kind of want to keep your distance, keep back a bit so that you can go ahead, provide that support to your teammates. You see there, he's using that Hive tech pistol to go ahead, give him a little bit of health, give it to his allies as well, and then trying to scout out some of these positions as well.
Yeah, looking at the kill feed, I'm seeing Twitchy putting in a lot of work. I mean, he or she is standing on business. I wonder what school she's from, or he.
Yeah. Oh, and we can see there Gandrito doing some work as well. Just got himself a double. And right now, I mean, especially when it comes to the early moments of this, it's just complete. You can see there, and that is why I want to say the recon is such an important role. Yes. Because you get just an entire scope of what is going on. You think maybe there's one or two enemies, and then you get shown the positioning, and you are dealing with the entire encampment.
Yes, this is true. Recon is pretty much OP when it comes to this because, I mean, we are dealing with 32 players, 32 v2, 32 versus 32, and having that recon is key, especially Luna. Luna has that bow and arrow that she could shoot and marks all the enemies at once, so your teammates could allocate and see where all the enemies are at.
I believe we just saw that up there. Rigomers already has 10 kills on the board in the opening moments of this, which is just so vital, especially trying to kind of get this push on. And I know a lot of people like to get those kills up on the board. This is kind of why I'm big on Stingers, on those support roles, especially when you're the attacker. When you have those limited amounts of resupplies that you can kind of come up on there. Oh, and you see right there, that chaos we were talking about just gets sniped as soon as trying to run up.
Yeah, I believe that was Conk that got knocked. He's an engineer, so he's able to put some damage on vehicles as well as, I believe, call in a vehicle for his team as well. And here is our influencer. Our influencer, right? This is
yeah, this is what we were talking about, the VTubers. Absolutely fearless. You can see they're all smiles, just those cold, steely dead eyes looking to take down more kills as the east side pushes forward.
I just respawned. Holy shit.
And there it is. I wonder who took Sector A. Was that the defenders or was it the attackers?
Well, what ends up happening is you can push forward. If they start retreating, you just need numbers in that sector to secure it. Once you have those numbers there and the rest of them are trying to push or are actually falling back, you have claimed that area and you can go ahead and start pushing forward. It's going to be real fun as we move toward, I want to say, the cave. As we move from, I want to say, from B to C1, that's where we get those zip lines where we have the real fun begins. And you're basically forcing your way up there, forcing the numbers up there and hoping that you don't get shot down.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. I love seeing the attackers go up the zip line while the defenders are just looking down and picking them off as they're going up. Scanning moving units, positioning exposed. So now they're being exposed as I believe this is Sierra. Sierra is playing with D-Wolf and had the smoke. Looking at the enemies. See, there you go. Those are the vehicles. That's what I want to see. I want to see those vehicles in actions. Vehicles are so overpowered in this game. It's something that you could have, I believe, 2 to 3 teammates on there while shooting out of there using the assault vehicle.
Yeah, and you can see here, oh man, this close quarters combat, my man is running through this position right here. It doesn't matter, taking out different weapons, finds himself 3 kills, I believe, there, and just doing such a great job. Go, Illinois.
He is putting in work. Like, he was born to play this game, honestly. Drop shotting, jump shotting, doing all the moves. and he finally gets knocked. He's just gonna give up, and we'll be respawning. So right now, I believe the attackers have 329 lives left. If you look at the top right, oh, actually 310. So it dropped.
Yeah, just slightly though. I mean, you kind of the big thing comes to, especially when the numbers are concerned, those last two positions when it comes to the tunnel gate or the spire platform, which is the last position that they need to get. Those are where the numbers really matter, because it's just the way you're able to dig in and the positioning you can get on those really matter as the game progresses here. Another you can see here another well, I don't want to call it a suicide, but I mean there's a certain point where you're just not going to get revived. Ooh, going after a vehicle, gonna have to run away.
Oh, he's an engineer. Is he gonna lock in? No, he did not lock in.
We have like the best ping difference.
Ooh. That was, I believe that was a double kill here, coming in for, I believe it's that Conk there. So, I mean, doing a good job, even on the engineer. And we've talked about it before. These vehicles, we haven't been able to see. I wish we could get like a vision. Oh, got caught going up the ladder. I wish we could get a view of these vehicles so that we can get inside of them to see who's doing the work and seeing just how menacing they can be, because that's why engineers are so pivotal and so important for these games.
Absolutely, not just them, right? We also have the support player, which could actually revive your teammates a lot faster with the hive gun. I want to see that in action as well.
Oh. You saw that nice little assault vehicle kind of snuck up there from behind, was able to take him down. And then here you can see, look at so many different targets here. Oh, just racking up kills right now. Is Mav tank. Impulse right now in that tank.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see some tank action. I also want to see the helicopter. I'm waiting to see that helicopter take some aerial support. Start taking out enemies from the skies.
Yeah, we can hear some of their comms. I want to say a lot calmer than I would be on some of these comms here. Just like they're going up the elevator. All right, we're going to move forward. I would be screaming. There's just so much going on. You can see people here trying to catch themselves a nice little easy ride on top of this tank.
Yeah, they got tired, man. They got tired of walking around. They just said, you know what? We're just going to get on the tank and cruise around and see if we could find anyone. Now they're moving on to Sector 2. I mean, Sector C.
Yeah, Sector C, and you can see here the zip line starting to come up right now. Mia inside. You can talk about the VTuber if you want to. Like I said, it's a cold killer in here right now, ready to slay as they're waiting to get back up this elevator. I wonder if they have elevator music in there, you know, the little calm.
I doubt it. Not with this chaos going on in Warfare. I don't think there's no calmness whatsoever.
There is so many people here. Oh my god.
As we can see here on the kill board, Rigomer's still kind of capturing that lead. 28 kills right now as the attackers, as the East Coast is moving on to Sector C1. And like I said before, C1 is where those zip lines come in. You're basically a sitting duck waiting, trying to go up there. You're trying to flood the numbers up at C1 to give them so many targets that are not going to be able to hit you, or at least you hope you're not going to be the ones that get sniped down.
Oh, you know.
Yeah, let's drop in their comms. Let's see what they're saying.
Wait, did Zach repair us? Is Zach even still in the elevator?
Oh, okay,
I think they're stuck. Oh, elevator door open.
And yeah, you can see there, Mia is ready to rock and roll. Hasty positions kind of getting up here, trying to find an objective here. I believe this is Sierra right now.
Yeah, Sierra.
The tongue got tied there.
Surely it's not Sierra. This is her, as we're seeing her point of view. She did get knocked. Hopefully her teammates will rescue her, but they're trying to cover fire.
I'm on combat. See, in this small position, I'm not sure if they have their license yet, but they are. It is a very tight position with this tank. Try look at it, another kill going down there, just laying in the work right now. I believe that is L Lucky right there on the minigun, just laying in to the West Coast.
Yeah, this tank. I mean, it's on a different level. Having a tank in your position gets you easy eliminations. That's what we're seeing here. Look at him, just driving over boxes and rocks. He don't care.
I just saw Yancey, I want to say, got 4 kills up there on the kill board. As we continue following around this tank. Oh, we have another tank in here. Is that 2 for the East Coast? Man,
they do have 2.
West Coast suffering right now, trying to defend this position.
Come on, West Coast, get it together, man. You guys got to get yourself a tank. Like I said earlier, vehicles are key here, no matter what it is. If it's an assault vehicle or if it's a tank or if it's a helicopter, you guys gotta get one. Come on, we gotta get on the leaderboards.
Yeah, it's just so important. We were talking about this before. When it comes to those vehicles, you can't just leave them still. You have to be able to be one of the first ones to get in there, and especially when it comes to kind of offsetting an enemy tank or an enemy vehicle there. Right now, kind of waiting to see where some of these engineers are for the West Coast, if they're going to be able to counteract this, because right now, especially in C1, especially in that cave, it's such a tight quarter. You're not going to be able to move anywhere without kind of running headlong into one of those tanks or into one of those assault vehicles here.
Yeah, as we can see, C2 is being captured by the attackers. They're just taking over. Why? Because they have those tanks. They're putting a lot of work with those tanks.
Who's shooting at me? I'm just gonna start.
And they're asking who's shooting at him. It's chaos. You never know. You never know who's shooting at you.
Is this me? Because that is exactly what I go through when I'm playing this game. All you see is black. You get down. You're like, who did that? I can't even see anybody because there's just so much. It almost gives you a false sense of security because you've got your teammates next to you. You figure out, oh, all these other areas have been cleared. Suddenly you're flanked by the enemy, and that's what's going on here right now. As you can see them suddenly starting to get a little surrounded by West Coast.
And the attackers did capture C1. Now they're rotating onto C2, trying to capture C2, putting on pressure on the defenders. Not seeing anyone though. Where's the West Coast at? I'm not seeing them. They're nowhere near C2.
Kind of backed up a bit here, possibly trying to get onto some of those artillery guns. You can see on the map there, they've started backing up toward C2. That's going to be the tunnel gate. We're getting very close. I want to say especially 266 left right now, and we're already at C2. This is just speaking very well for the East Coast. They're doing very well managing their numbers. I'm actually wondering what it looks like when it comes to like support on the side of East Coast, and if that is kind of matched up, because support is such a vital role for attackers, because you want to make sure that you're keeping your team up, that you're not using those numbers, and it looks like they haven't been using them too often.
Yeah, right now we're currently seeing University of Texas at Austin, and he was using the Hive Tech pistol, which revived his teammates instantly, right? He used that. He's a support player. This is one of the key factors of being Stinger, right? Is that you could revive your knocked enemies as soon as possible, maybe 1 second and they're up. Look at this chaos. Look at all this smoke.
Yeah, and that's kind of the crazy thing, and that's why the smoke is exactly why recon is so important, because when everybody's shooting out smoke, you want to be the first one to get that important information, to get that advantage, to get that angle that you need to be able to kind of get a lot of those kills.
Yeah, so not sure if you've seen what he dropped. That device that he dropped is a respawn point. So if they get eliminated, they get to respawn right there in the cave.
There's a tank coming through the main entrance.
Yeah,
let's listen on to their comms.
Yeah, I'm coming with you guys.
That seems pretty calm. Very quiet. They're just moseying around doing work. You don't need why say many words when few words do trick. Is the caption? I guess is going to go here. You don't really, especially when you're doing so well right now. C1 being captured. They're starting to move on to C2 onto that tunnel gate. They're almost at the Spire right now. And I want to say the Spire is a completely different ball game. And you're going to see it because we exit the cave. We go right out into the open. And the defenders, the West Coast, is going to have this great high ground advantage on their oppressors.
Yeah, but as they were capturing C1, check out C2. Oh, now they just flip. C1 is captured now, while C2 is being captured by East Coast.
Yeah, and that's interesting. They doubled back around East Coast to go ahead, capture C1, but does that not leave them open to kind of get surrounded? I mean, as we took a look at the overall map of pressure there, I mean, getting surrounded is not something you want to do here. At least not for me, because I am not that close quarters type of player when it comes to this. Like I said, I like to play those in the back supports where I'm nice and safe, and I'm not being that bullet sponge. Oh, speaking of bullet sponge.
Oh, there's 2 knocks there.
I believe that is that Duck or Conk there on the engineer there on Shepard, and he has been lighting up the kill board too as well. Been doing a great job kind of getting these angles, and yeah, look at just a nice peak press there, and then gonna go ahead and grab another position.
Yeah, that's UCLA, baby. 8 clap. Let's go.
Yeah, just look at, and that's kind of a good example of the difference. You saw how long it took him to go ahead and get him up there, and that's because he's not the support role. And support roles, it's like immediate. Exactly, as soon as you go down there, as soon as you use that hive tech, you're able to get them back up and back into the fight. And I want to say that has been so pivotal. And look at covering this back, covering this last area to C1 has really dropped their numbers. They're at 179, and I want to say a moment ago they were still above 250.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. It seems like if the defenders are putting in their work, they're learning how the attackers are rotating, and they're blocking them from continuing on and trying to capture C2 because they keep going back and forth, right? They capture C1, but then C2 is being captured by the defender, and then they just swapped.
Yeah, and I want to say it's probably, we've kind of gotten past the point where those vehicles were effective, and you could see where the big advantage came from the vehicles, because now that they're not able to, as I say that, we come in, tank rolling in to go ahead and put some damage onto them. You see Sierra got murked there as well.
Now, was that a tank or was that an assault vehicle? Because there's 2 different types, right? We have a tank, we have an assault vehicle, and those 2 vehicles do carry ammo and weapons built on them, as well as a helicopter. Now they have an ATV and they also have an OTV. Those are vehicles for you to just rotate. I believe there's no weapons attached to them.
Yeah, not onto the ATVs, but the tanks and the assault vehicles definitely have weapons. Definitely great at clearing out space. Oh, as you can see there, the missile launcher going crazy. And it's not even just the weapons that you have equipped on here. It's just rolling over. And there is why engineers are so important, as you see a vehicle get taken down there from Saber.
Yeah, that took long. That took long for that revive. And he's going to revive again. Oh, he's getting shot at, though.
He's taking shots, though.
Oh, no, he got knocked.
Pays for that revive, and this is what I was talking about. You see outside there, that's where it's going to start coming down. That Spire platform, section D, that's going to be where the men and the women are made and carved out here, because I mean, you've got 100 left. I talked to you about it before. That is where the numbers really go down, because you're right out there in the open and you're fighting against an enemy that has an advanced position on you and has the high ground.
Oh my God, UCLA Courier is locked in. Not sure if you've seen those shots from a distance. Was able to connect, get the headshot, get an easy elimination.
Huh.
He's locked in. Look at him.
Oh yeah, just enjoying the battle there. He's doing actually a great job for his team right now. 117 left for the East side, here, as they're still pushing through. Still haven't, I want to say, kind of have not been able to make up the ground. They had to double back because Westside was able to double back around them, capture that C1 section again. So they had to double back around there, and it took them a little bit of time, a little bit more manpower. As we take an overview of this, you could see the spire there in D.
Yes, they're finally out of the caves. That was a long battle, right? Because they kept on going back and forth, capturing C, capturing C1, C2, and you know, they just kept on bouncing back and forth. And now they're finally on the top at Spire, trying to defend, trying to attack Sector D. And I believe there's 2 sectors up here as well, right? D1 and D2.
I believe there's just the Spire that's left. It should just be D. Or unless there's the, I'm about to have a spasm here. I don't even know how she gets information clicking through it that fast.
No, you're absolutely right. It's only one sector, right? It's just Sector D. So this is for all the marbles here for match number 1. Let's see who's going to win this. Is it going to be the defenders or is it going to be the attackers?
So they were able to get some manpower here because they were at 117 at one point, and they're at 191. Oh, man. That's what I'm talking about. All angles you got to be watching out for. You saw there Luna from the side, one of the recon agents there, able to get so much information for the team. So vital when it comes to kind of throwing down this smoke.
Oh.
Oh, man. I mean, they're still kind of pushing on here. Man, West Coast needs a wing and a prayer here right now as they are being swarmed. I thought it would be kind of a saving grace having some great positioning here, but they're coming from so many different angles. You can see them very well using a lot of those smoke columns as well to separate out the vision from the side of West Coast.
Did you see that? He just gave his teammate health from a distance.
Yeah, that's gonna be the Hive Tech pistol that he's able to use there to give it from a distance. You can it helps. You only actually need one shot because it immediately starts the healing. Another smoke plume goes out there as well.
Yeah, Stinger is one of the best supporting player in this game by far.
That always drives me crazy when it comes to here. It's like your entire platform is being swarmed, but I get sniped by you from like 100 yards out. Look at, oh my God, there is some look of concern here on Mia.
Yeah. Her eyes are wide open. D is being captured now by and that's victory. The attackers.
Last platform there. I want to say very quick on the side of East Coast there, as we can take a look there. Florida, Illinois there. And man, just a great game. Georgia Tech as well as I want to say Rutgers University. A great job by them. They really, I want to say they pushed through this fairly quickly. At least those first positions all the way up to C1, just crazy fast.
Yeah, super excited. The game was intense. The matches, there was action everywhere. Like you said, there's chaos over there. But hey, West Coast, I'm calling you guys out. Gaming Association at UW, Bruin Gaming's Longhorn Esports, Berkeley Legends. Where are you guys? Let's go, man. We got to win this.
Yeah, I want to say the biggest as the match started. I want to say charging the beach was a great idea. the biggest, and we've talked about this, the biggest role though in those caves, the vehicles. And I feel like West Coast eventually had an answer for it, but by the time they were able to have an answer for it, it was already too late. They had mounted so many debts, they were getting pushed on, and it was just an issue. They had some great comebacks there. You saw them, they were able to kind of come back, take C1 before C2 actually went down, and that was a great way for them to really halt the progress of the East Coast.
Yes, and here we got some action replays going on. This was intense. This was from landing on the beach shore to going up to Sector D. It was just non-stop action, this is warfare in a nutshell.
Yeah, I mean, it's everything from sniping, giving information, to that close quarters combat that you need to be ready for, and then of course the vehicles here just taking names, asking questions later. I don't even think there was time to ask questions. Just all out warfare here, and it's not even just the weapons on those vehicles, it's getting run over by them, just absolutely plowed in these close quarters here in this cave.
Okay, so Private, now that you've seen the vehicle in action, would you be jumping on a vehicle now when playing this game?
Oh, well, I mean, that is obviously where I'd want to be. I
killed Croc!
I would like to see some probably better counters coming from it. I want to see more engineers kind of taking the lead when it comes to those vehicles coming out. As soon as those vehicles come out, they should be all in line to try to be able to take them out, because there needs to be an answer early, or I want to say attackers really kind of get the advantage from that. Or at least whoever has that vehicle. That if you're not going to be able to reply to it, it's going to need to be one of your first objectives when it comes into these maps.
Yeah, you do have a point. Now, I'm curious to see if the teams have one of the operators, right? A support operator, an assault operator, and a recon, or an engineer, right? I'm curious to see if either they're mixing, or are they all assault players? I feel that one player should be like a recon, the other one should be an engineer, the other one should be an assault, just so they could have all those tools as they're going in and fighting.
You bring up an interesting point, because as an attacker side, I want to say that support role is so vital, because your numbers are limited. You're not going to be able to kind of lean back and just pull out body after body after body. But are they as important when it comes to the defensive side, where your numbers are limitless, where somebody goes down, they can just find another position and come back? And that's kind of the interesting thing to me is I guess we'll have to find out and see kind of how that balances out. I'd love to see what the winning team is and what their comp was as well, to see if they did have, like you said, that very balanced in there, or if it was just all assault or something there.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. All right. Well, pretty excited. Waiting for next match. Hopefully West Coast could put some work in, man, because I'm really cheering for them.
Yeah, it's going to be some exciting matches here, ladies and gentlemen, but the action does not stop here. More to come after this very small break.
Operator Mike here once again from the Delta Force Community Squad. Frozen tundra, rocky terrain, and icebergs. The landscape may be cold, but the battle is about to heat up. Strive to reach the peak and give it all you got. First, secure the beachhead. Your final objective looms far in the distance. Traverse the intersecting ravines, and you'll arrive at Havoc's temporary camp. Make good use of vehicles to launch an assault. Under the icebergs lies a critical Havoc facility. Destroy them with firepower in one fell swoop. Ride the zip line all the way to the top. Before you reach the end, execute a pincer move and clear the cave. Regroup with squad mates at the tunnel gate. It's the only way to the summit. Push through the cave. Up here in the clouds, bullets fly in all directions. Here, the final battle is about to begin. Operators, are you ready to gamble with fate?
Operators, get ready. This battle ain't gonna be easy. In Havoc Warfare, you will enter a war-torn battlefield, playing as attackers or defenders. Cooperate with squad mates and utilize land, sea, and air vehicles as you fight for strategic objectives across the map. In a game of attack and defend, a total of 64 operators will enter the battlefield, divided into attacking and defending factions. As the attackers, you need to break through enemy defenses and capture all strategic objectives to successfully secure the sector. Capture all enemy sectors to secure victory. As the defenders, you need to repel enemy attacks, hold your sectors, and defend strategic objectives. If the enemy's attacking forces are exhausted and they haven't captured all sectors, you get the win. Before entering the battlefield, make sure to prepare in advance. This is where you can choose your operator. All weapons and attachments can be unlocked by gaining XP from completing matches. Prepare your loadout in advance so that you are fully equipped and ready to adapt on the battlefield. Each operator has unique traits, gadgets, and weapons. Assault operators have stronger combat abilities and move faster while aiming down sights. Support operators are ready to provide backup and keep the team in the fight. Engineer operators can repair vehicles and aircraft, and recon operators are experts in intelligence warfare, using their recon stations to gather combat information. Upon entering the battlefield, each operator will join a 4-person squad. Attackers advance to the nearest enemy-controlled sector and launch the assault. Defenders will deploy directly at the first objective and will need to quickly set up defenses. The objectives will be shown on the mini-map. Boundaries are also visible on the HUD. If the incoming attackers have a numerical advantage, they will begin to capture the objective. The defending team will first lose their control of the objective before the attackers can start to claim it, increasing their control until the objective is captured. When all objectives in the sector are controlled, the sector is successfully captured. The next sector will not immediately open, giving defenders some time to regroup. If you are downed and cannot be revived, hold spacebar to give up and redeploy. Select a controlled strategic objective on the map. Deploying nearby is safest, but you will also end up being further from the front lines. Or, if a squad mate is not in combat and there is space near them, deploying around them will allow you to quickly return to the front line. Deploying directly into a vehicle heading to the front line is also a good option. Brave recon operators can also place a respawn beacon just outside an enemy objective, allowing you to sprint directly to the objective after deploying. Of course, operators can also use the escape key to redeploy, quickly changing their operators and gear in order to adapt to the situation on the ground. While redeployment is convenient, attackers must keep an eye on their remaining reinforcements, which starts at 300. If an operator is downed but rescued by a teammate, reinforcements are not used. But those who are downed and give up will consume reinforcements. After capturing a sector, you'll receive a boost to reinforcements. Once all reinforcements have been exhausted, the attackers are defeated. So, an effective assault strategy is crucial. Vehicles are key to avoid consuming reinforcements. For example, the high mobility of ATVs and ORVs allows for rapid infiltration, while the tank offers devastating firepower. Coordinate with squad mates to quickly break through defenses and suppress the opponent's counterattack. Assault vehicles can smash through blockades, allowing troops to deploy near objectives and reducing the loss of reinforcements. Attack helicopters can strike quickly and cover large distances. Defenders don't need to worry about reinforcements. Instead, they can focus on utilizing all defensive assets at their disposal to withstand the enemy's attack. Even when all hope seems lost, there is always a chance for a comeback. Use military-ranked scores earned in combat to call in guided missiles to eliminate enemy forces in the area and regain the upper hand. Upgrade your loadout. Deploy tactical offense and defense to dominate on the battlefield. Grab your weapon, operator, and prepare for Havoc Warfare.
Operator Mike here once again from the Delta Force Community Squad. Welcome to the strategic heart of the coastal desert, operators. This is Cracked. Traverse the rolling sand dunes, and the ruined desert city comes into view. Cross the highway. The temporary command HQ is just ahead, a strategic hub connecting all routes. Past the stone gate, where the once proud buildings now lay in ruins. A sorry sight. Watch for incoming fire from the rooftops. The battle starts in a flash. Fire erupts, smoke fills the air. Military supply stash. Easy to defend, hard to attack. Opening more fronts is the only valid strategy. Deep in the town lies the office area courtyard, the final line of defense. A fierce contest between metal and flesh plays out across this isolated land. No guts, no glory, operators.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We just got off East Coast versus West Coast universities here. East Coast walking away with that dub and looking if there can be a reply from West.
I sure hope so, man, because I'm cheering for the West. I'm a West Side kid, so we'll see if UCLA 8-Clap puts in the work. We seen him. We've seen oh my god, I forgot his name, but he's from UCLA. He was doing a lot of work. He had a lot of knocks, lot of instants. So guys, let me tell you something. Get on the tanks, get on the vehicles, use the vehicles. Those are the overpowered. Grab the vehicles, man. You got to jump on them.
Well, and that was actually what I was going to bring up too, is like, where do you think that they actually need to probably focus? And those vehicles are a great answer. And it's actually going to bring up a point of like, what is the East Side going to be able to do to kind of counteract that? And are they going to have a plan? Because they first and foremost understand, they've shown that they understand how important those vehicles are. So we're going to see if they can kind of apply that knowledge, come up with a good strategy when it comes to the backside here, when they're on their back foot, when they're playing defensively here. And will those same, I want to say, as we were watching a lot of those matches, as we were seeing a lot of those teams kind of come out there, East Side, when we got that full view, I want to say I saw a decent mix of assault, of support, of different classes out there to kind of help them. And will those supports maybe fall off when we're here on the defense? Maybe we'll get a little bit more engineers on the side, and how well might that kind of play into the strategy going on here? Is we're gonna just flip sides here on the same Ascension map.
Yeah, so I feel being an engineer could counteract the vehicles because of their abilities that they have, right? So we'll see if the East Coast will decide to be stacked on assault and engineers. I don't know. What's your bet?
They do have. I want to. Yeah, when it comes to those, especially with the type of unit that they have, Shepherd or Luru, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, the two type of engineer modes there that they come equipped with Stinger missiles to be able to kind of take down some of those vehicles, those assault vehicles, the tanks. We haven't seen any choppers here just yet. It's mostly just been the assault vehicles, and we didn't see anybody kind of utilize those ATVs, but we were talking about it earlier. I mean, ATVs, they can get you close, but there's no real like weapon system on there, so maybe unless you're looking for like a very quick run somebody over, there's not too much I want to say strategic value to it, unless you're trying to get maybe behind enemy lines. It's gonna be very important. I really am excited to see what they have in store for us.
Yeah, I feel Shepherd will probably be the way to go with their sonic paralysis, the sonic trap, the frag grenade, and the blast protection with sound waves. That could put a tank on halt easily. But then again, I mean, Hackclaw, Recon, we need that signal decoder with the flash drone and the knife, advanced enemy tracking intel as well. So I'm curious to see what the East Coast is going to come up with, because I know what the West Coast is. I just gave them a call and I told them, hey, make sure you guys do this, make sure you do that, and they said okay. So we'll see.
try to rile them up, try to get them going.
Oh, yeah.
I was actually going to ask, I wonder at what point or how much of an effect, we didn't really get to cover it here, but also we have some influencers here on both sides. Sierra, you talked about for the West Coast, Mia gonna be the influencer for the East Coast, and they're gonna basically be implanted into random teams here to kind of help support that role. And I was wondering how big of an effect we feel that each of these influencers might have. We saw a little bit of Sierra, I want to say, who preferred kind of that ground approach, just right there in the nitty gritty. And May, we saw, did want to take up there in some of those vehicles.
Yeah, she actually had a tank taking the elevator up. She knows how to play the game. I mean, like you said, VTubers, I mean, they're on a different level, right? But Mia did have D-Wolf. She was an assault player. She was over there putting in work, did connect some shots. Very, very, very animated, very happy. It's great to see many influencers playing this game.
Oh yeah, especially with just how brand new it is, to see how much it has kind of taken over. It's been amazing to see. We just talked about it. It just came out, I want to say, on the 6th, I believe. So like less than 7 days ago. And I want to say for this campus event, a lot of these guys just grinded so hard so that they could get those little options, to get those little add-ons to their weapons, all the different items that they needed before they came into the gameplay here today.
Yeah, also one of the other key points is that you could modify your weapons, right? You could change attachments, you could add attachments. You just need to rank up, as well as the operators, right? So the more you play, the more rank that you're going to get, the more attachments that you could unlock, and then you can start swapping. You could add a bigger scope, smaller scope, grip, tack. There's a lot of modifications that you could do on the weapons. And also, sooner than later, there's going to be game progression, which you could possibly play it on a different device, in this case a mobile device. That's coming soon.
And I know everybody's excited about it, especially the cross play options that could possibly come out from that. But I mean, boy, I don't even know how you can handle so much action on a phone, let alone just all that's been going on just with the PC with a huge screen in front of me. On a phone, your phone's likely to blow up with all that's going on there, and trying to keep up with all the action there. It's going to be amazing here today. We've got so much going on. We've talked about a lot of these different operator classes that we have here, whether it's assault, support, recon has been one that we've touched on a little bit. You've got, I want to say, operators like Luna, like Hackclaw, who do the job of trying to make sure that they can get that important information out to their team. They've got a decent amount of CC that they can kind of lay out to a lot of the enemy lines as well. And it's been one of those ones, I want to say that we've kind of fallen behind. We've talked more about assault, we've talked about support, engineers, but I mean, when it comes to getting the information, especially with the smoke and all of the vision that pretty much gets taken away from you, they become so important to a team.
Yeah, that is definitely Stinger. Stinger has the smoke screen that shoots, and for a lot of people that don't know, as it's shooting the smoke, you could move your mouse cursor and it'll go with it too. So if you wanted to go right, it'll end up going right. So the smoke will actually curve, which is pretty cool. But I haven't seen anyone rocking Toxic. Toxic is a support player that has a Dragonfly Sworn system, Adrenal Boost, Blinding Gas Grenade, and improves ally healing and survivability. This means that they could heal a lot faster with her ability, which is the trait, one of her traits.
Well, I want to say, like, when it comes to her, like, you can kind of keep an eye. I think I noticed once when I saw that the Dragonfly Swarm system, which is basically, it just looks like a cloud of insects coming towards you, of mechanical insects that come out, block your line of sight, and really kind of help the enemy kind of be able to kind of force forward there and give you all the vision that you need. And it's a very interesting class. Like I said, I have my issues with trying to be up in front, but while we're talking about the game, for you, I know we've been playing it for a little bit here to get adjusted to it. We are part of the alpha. for you. What's, oh, actually, I think we're about ready to go. I was going to go ahead and say, well, we can make it real quick. For you, favorite weapon, go.
Oh, that's going to be tough. It has to be a AR assault rifle. For now, until I start unlocking more, right? Because I got to grind the game. I got to unlock weapons, and then I'm going to discover something that I really like. But for now, it's a default weapon from D-Wolf that it's my go-to. How about you?
For me, it's going to be the SMG. I like that. I like the close range reliability of it. Doesn't get too shaky. You just go unload on somebody if they're right in front of you while you're trying to heal up teammates, while you're trying to support them, and boom, move on your way. Like I said, I don't like trying to be out there in the open trying to snipe people down. I just, if they're coming up on me, Uzi is the answer, and it's probably one of my favorite ones as we get ready for round 2 of this Ascension map. It is West Coast as the invaders and East Coast taking up the defensive positions.
And yes, here we go. West Coast is going to put in work. As we're seeing there, those are the weapons that you could choose, and he chose the Car 15, which is the assault rifle that I was referring to. And
that's one of the more important parts of this, is that every single time you die, you have that option to kind of change your loadout. If you were maybe doing a long distance type of sniper role and now you want to switch to something close range, you can switch that loadout before you spawn back in. So that's another neat little thing that you can do here.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, you could switch depending on where you're at. So from here at this point, you would probably want something from mid to long range. Once you go into the caves and you get eliminated, then you would want to switch to something that's close quarters, because from there on, going up to Sector D, it's all about close quarters. There's no long range.
Ooh. And they're actually putting up a pretty solid defense. I'm actually wondering where did they go? I think they've taken a road around somewhere.
I have no idea. They're probably taking an off angle here.
Yeah, actually very smart. Not trying to storm the beach. The entirety of the teams kind of looks like they're looking for the flank around the temporary camp so that they don't get hit with those big artillery rounds. They don't make their stand at the beach. Oh, honestly, this is the first time I've seen it, and very smart.
Oh, damn, I didn't even realize someone got me up. I was just in the middle of it.
We could listen to their comms here as they're also confused trying to find them. They have no idea where they're at. And he has a knocked teammate. He's going to go ahead and revive him, as he did with the Hive Stinger gun. Handgun. Oh, there they are. Finally getting shot.
Yeah, now you can see those flanks starting to take up haste. He's starting to kind of move forward. We were talking about if there were going to be any kind of different types of strategies, especially since they had just played this map. And so maybe that's where these little new strategies might be coming out, since they know what they were just on defense, so they know what might be a little bit harder of an area to try to cover.
They're on our hill, by the way. They're like super close to us.
We could hear those comms that they're really close to them. Not sure how close they are, but hopefully West Coast starts putting in work.
Oh man, you can see the frustration starting to come out. It's not so easy on defense, especially when man, this is just so interesting to see that they just completely abandoned the charging the beach. They're like, nah, you know what? Nah, we're just gonna go around. we don't want to lose as many as they did when they charged here, as they're already starting to make their way towards that temporary camp.
And I'm not sure if you've seen, but that's another cool feature, that you could jump off a high place and pop open your parachute just so you won't get eliminated, right? So that's another option that this game offers, that it has a parachute for you to jump from high places and land safely.
Ooh, I believe we have a chopper up in the air. Vehicles are now starting to be on the roll here. We did see that West Coast tried to advance. They had a tank. Walked right into that Claymore.
He should have stayed in the tank, honestly. He should have stayed in the tank, because once he got out, he just got bopped.
Man, now you can start seeing a lot of that positioning starting to come into play, as if we could get like a bigger view of like how this flanking is going around. It's so crazy, because like I've said before, you get that false sense of security when you've got your teammates around you. You think you have the cover, and then boop, you get bopped from the back, and you're like, wait a minute, now they're behind me. So it's so crazy to see here, as you can see A starting to be pressed upon.
Total chaos, absolutely. Total chaos. Right now we're spectating UC Berkeley, and we're looking at, oh, there's a helicopter there. Is he gonna lock into the helicopter?
He's trying there. You see some of the attempts up there. That boy has an aerial view. I'm not sure if that's a recon. Maybe want to make a little bit more use, trying to come down a little bit, but he is high up in the air. Looking like he's trying to touch a space station up there. Still gonna wait for him to kind of come back down. Oh, there we got a nice view there, especially coming in from I believe that was Hacklaw. Go ahead and getting them a ton of vision there.
Oh, they're talking about schoolwork now.
Oh, you know.
Oh yeah. So they were talking about he helped them with the schoolwork. So if his teammate wins the money, he better kick some bucks towards him, huh?
You just saw that dragonfly swarm come out from Toxic as well. Ooh, I want to say a much harder time from West Coast here, trying to take this temporary camp right now. By this moment, I want to say East Coast. I mean, East Coast just putting up a heck of a defense here, even with the flank, even though they didn't storm the beach. Just having a great time and doing a great job with this protection.
Yeah, as we can see, Beachhead right now, it's a tug of war for Sector A. It's just going back and forth. It's about 50%. Oh, actually, we're seeing the West Coast gonna take frontline.
Yeah, they finally started the push there. You can see temporary camp starting to get flooded right now. Ooh, Austin looking for the angles he can find there. Oh,
yeah, has a beautiful sniper. Oh my god, hitting every shot. Oh, there's the bow and arrow, the recon.
Yeah, from a Luna there. I try to get them a little bit more information before they press forward here. Oh man, he is just become so lethal. Your boy Z. Is that Zell? Your boy Zell?
Okay, gang.
All right, they're in the vehicle. They're gonna start pushing everyone on this vehicle. Now, is this a OTV or an assault? I believe this is an OTV, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Oh man, look at that. They're all camped up and ready.
Yeah, boy Z's over here, quick scoping. Look at him.
It's so amazing how fast that they can register what they're seeing and whether they have a valid target. Oh, gets chopped up, running into the smoke.
Oh gosh. I pulled out my.
Rigamore's over here with the gun skin.
Oh yeah, on the Luna has actually been doing a great job. I've constantly seen him at the top of the leaderboards for East Coast. Been doing such a great job, just especially here on the ground. I have to give my hat off for him. Just been doing such a great job pushing forward, and here doing a great when it comes to the defense.
Yeah, absolutely. He knows what he's doing. Look at him. I think I'm gonna have to call him and say, hey, do you want to carry me one of these days? Because you are absolute a beast in this game.
He is just taking names here, even chasing them out of bounds. He says nowhere is safe.
Yeah, there's no comms from him. He's just solo riding. He's the lone wolf.
Yeah, he absolutely stoic, right? Oh
look at him.
God.
Just another day at the park.
I believe that's been about at least 5 or 6 kills so far. Amazing. He's a one-man show here.
Oh, finally gets taken out. Look at that. 33 eliminations for Rigamores.
I mean, the one of the many reasons why I want to say that West Coast has been having an issue trying to push forward. Just now, starting to get to that B1. I believe that's the separation station there. That's they're going to be trying to move forward to try to capture that.
Yeah, this battle's taking pretty long here on B1 and B2. But they are on a different sector. So defense sector objective. So B1 is already being captured by West Coast.
Yeah, and I want to say probably not as much a focus on the vehicles as I think we've kind of toned away from those right now just a bit. Oh, there's another heel there. Is that, oh no, actually that's Watanabe there with the heels there playing that support role on Stinger there as well.
Yep, that is West Coast. And he has a SMG with them. Is he able to hit the... Oh, no, did not hit those shots. That's way too far for an SMG.
Doesn't matter how close your scope brings you.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate. That's something I find myself doing often too. When I feel I have to jump on an enemy, but they're just a little too far for that SMG to actually do any damage, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, there's definitely some bullet drop there. So you might want to tell your teammates who possibly have a sniper or an assault rifle, like, hey, there's enemies there. Take them out, buddies.
And that's what we were talking about before, that communication can play such a pivotal role. But I want to say, as we talk about communication playing this huge role, I want to say some of the better when it comes to kills and stuff like that have been coming from these stoic gamers where you see on the cams, they just absolutely not saying anything, just locked in and taking names.
Yeah, Mad Impulse is over here using a canted sight, which is pretty gnarly. Like the way that the character holds a weapon, it actually uses a canted sight, and he has a laser on there, so the hip fire on that is a lot more accurate. Look at that.
Yeah, we just saw him use that Hive Tech grenade. We talked about that a little earlier. Oh, and gets
from
caught.
The side. But Private, these comms right now, they're so calm. Like, I would have been yelling like, hey, help, I need help over here, there's enemies this way, and their comms are like, hey, there's an enemy here, enemy 45, can you revive me?
Playing some of those smooth classics. And maybe that's why they've been so successful, is they've been clear, stoic, they understand what they need to do, they're very calmly giving that information out, and it's been doing, I mean, a great job. You've been able to hold West Coast. They're just narrowly getting B2. They've lost B1 already, kind of getting it flanked on behind them.
We're currently spectating UCLA West Coast, so they're trying to capture B1 right now at the moment. They have B2 secure, and these are the comms that I'm talking about. Moving as a team. Look at this.
Oh.
And they're capturing B1, but as we can see, B2 is being captured by the East Coast.
One step forward, two steps back right now. That I want to say East Coast has just been swarming. They know what objectives they need to do. They know how to kind of cover these areas and these objectives, and they're just doing such a great job of forcing, I want to say, the game plan that they want onto the West Coast, whereas they're getting pushed back and they have to double back for B1. Once they double back for B1, B2 gets captured. They just have a great understanding of what they need to do. A little bit of a cat and mouse game.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I was trying to see if Courier had any comms, but just locked in. It just locked in.
No,
Going
able
for the
to,
revive.
yeah, it'll pick somebody up there. Conk here again. Going to go ahead and get shot. Another kill under the belt for him. As we move forward, I wonder if we can get a bigger aerial shot here to see kind of maybe get a better understanding of what is going on between the side of when it comes to the West Coast and East Coast, and why West Coast is just having such problems being able to push onto these shores.
I don't know. Maybe these West Coast schools have a little rivalry going on between each other, you know?
Oh, a little peek there. Nice
God,
angle there. Does
reaction
find a kill quickly coming out there. It's so crazy how fast he's been reacting here as well.
Yeah, it's going back and forth.
Oh, I want to say this does not bode well for West Coast. They're down to 70 players and they haven't even made it to the zip line.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough. This is gonna be tough for the West Coast, definitely. I mean, they're at 57 lives left.
Yeah, UCLA Courier doing work. Oh, and eventually gets taken down.
Yeah, if we're looking at the right side, which is gonna be East Coast, their points, their eliminations are a lot higher compared to the left, which is West Coast. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty impressive stats there from Duck until you turn and you see Rigomers has 49 kills right now on his side. It's just absolutely just taking it to West Coast right now.
And this is the reason why.
Oh, a little bit of an answer there from West Coast. They have a tank of their own.
Mav Impulse was on the tank this whole time, I bet you, and took out the tank.
Oh, West Coast, they're gonna feel that in the morning. Yeah, they're doing a great job. The tank is such a vital role when it comes to kind of protecting and patrolling around these areas, especially when you don't have when you just got your tank taken out as well from the side of West. Oh.
Yeah, we're down to 11 lives left for the West Coast. This is not good.
Yeah, a very strong defense here put up by East Coast. They came off the beach. They had a plan to kind of not try to storm, and I'm wondering if that kind of played a role into this. They wasted a lot of time trying to get the flank, and eventually were kind of split themselves up. Oh, and the victory coming out for East Coast, this time on defense.
Yeah, and we could hear the comms. We could hear the comms from the East Coast. They are lit. They are on fire. They're putting in the work. Well deserved. Congratulations on the second win as a defender.
Yeah, you can see up there Gator Gaming coming up from Florida, Alini Esports from Illinois, Rutgers Esports from Rutgers University, and Georgia Tech. Victors again on Ascension, basically showing right from the get-go they knew what they wanted to do, they executed it well, and were able to even get behind enemy lines to be able to really set them back every foot forward. Coming from West Coast, they had to double back because right behind them they were getting another section captured from them.
Yeah, it was going back and forth. I mean, defenders the East Coast, they did not let West Coast move up at all. It stayed in the B sector and it ended in the B sector, which is unfortunate. West Coast, come on, we got to put in work.
All right, guys, well, let's see how it all went down. We were talking about Regomers. He has been a menace. He was a one-man army here. We saw before it was like 6 kills in a row, and that's what kind of started the pace here. Is even when they got into the vehicles, they just were not having the best time with them. They were getting their vehicles taken out, and once you have that vehicle superiority on the enemy side, it's going to be a rough game for you.
Yeah, it was definitely difficult. The East Coast jumped on that tank right away, and they just started putting in the work that needed to be done. As far as the West Coast, I'm only seeing a couple of players putting in the work. We need the rest of the teams, the rest of the players from every team to start working as a team. Let's execute, boys.
Yeah, and maybe it's very interesting too, because we saw right from the get-go, I like the idea of trying to have a different plan, not storming the beach, but maybe it's kind of comes down to it where we need to kind of just suck it up and kind of just force that squad through mid and take the losses. From the side, I want to say what ended up happening is you kind of came in from both sides. You split up your teammates, so they as they were funneling in, you've split up this big group that you can kind of take those pot shots in. As you split it up, you're getting picked off on the sides there, and I want to say that kind of really cost them when it came to kind of trying to take some of these objectives.
Yeah, I kind of seen what they wanted to do, right? They wanted to pinch the East Coast because they did I don't know, 2-2 split, I guess you could call it. But it didn't work for them. And next time they just need to go straight in, and hopefully they could execute, get some eliminations right away, and capture the sectors.
The big thing here, and we talked about it before, those vehicles. They need to be able to kind of hold on to those and be able to make use of them. Not just get them, but make use to them.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be taking you back to to a new map, but after this very short break.
Intelligence indicates that Havoc is amassing strength for a new conspiracy. Operators, we must eliminate their plot before it takes root.
Requesting vehicle airdrop.
There's nowhere to retreat to. Do not let this sector fall.
Operator Mike here once again from the Delta Force Community Squad. Frozen tundra, rocky terrain, and icebergs. The landscape may be cold, but the battle is about to heat up. Strive to reach the peak and give it all you got. First, secure the beachhead. Your final objective looms far in the distance. Traverse the intersecting ravines, and you'll arrive at Havoc's temporary camp. Make good use of vehicles to launch an assault. Under the icebergs lies a critical Havoc facility. Destroy them with firepower in one fell swoop. Ride the zipline all the way to the top. Before you reach the end, execute a pincer move and clear the cave. Regroup with squad mates at the tunnel gate. It's the only way to the summit. Push through the cave Up here in the clouds, bullets fly in all directions. Here, the final battle is about to begin. Operators, are you ready to gamble with fate?
Operators, get ready. This battle ain't gonna be easy. In Havoc Warfare, you will enter a war-torn battlefield, playing as attackers or defenders. Cooperate with squad mates and utilize land, sea, and air vehicles as you fight for strategic objectives across the map. In a game of attack and defend, a total of 64 operators will enter the battlefield, divided into attacking and defending factions. As the attackers, you need to break through enemy defenses and capture all strategic objectives to successfully secure the sector. Capture all enemy sectors to secure victory. As the defenders, you need to repel enemy attacks, hold your sectors, and defend strategic objectives. If the enemy's attacking forces are exhausted and they haven't captured all sectors, you get the win. Before entering the battlefield, make sure to prepare in advance. This is where you can choose your operator. All weapons and attachments can be unlocked by gaining XP from completing matches. Prepare your loadout in advance so that you are fully equipped and ready to adapt on the battlefield. Each operator has unique traits, gadgets, and weapons. Assault operators have stronger combat abilities and move faster while aiming down sights. Support operators are ready to provide backup and keep the team in the fight. Engineer operators can repair vehicles and aircraft, and recon operators are experts in intelligence warfare, using their recon stations to gather combat information. Upon entering the battlefield, each operator will join a 4-person squad. Attackers advance to the nearest...
Operator Mike here once again from the Delta Force Community Squad. Operator Mike here once again from the Delta Force Community Squad. Welcome to the strategic heart of the coastal desert, operators. This is Cracked. Traverse the rolling sand dunes, and the ruined desert city comes into view. Cross the highway. The temporary command HQ is just ahead, a strategic hub connecting all routes. Past the stone gate, where the once proud buildings now lay in ruins. A sorry sight. Watch for incoming fire from the rooftops. The battle starts in a flash. Fire erupts, smoke fills the air. Military supply stash. Easy to defend, hard to attack. Opening more fronts is the only valid strategy. Deep in the town lies the office area courtyard, the final line of defense. A fierce contest between metal and flesh plays out across this isolated land. No guts, no glory, operators.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The Delta Force matches continue here, taking on a new map to see if West Coast might have a little bit more luck defending Cracked.
Yes, Cracked is a worn-torn coastal desert city, narrow alleys, urban ruins, and interconnecting roads. This map has a post-apocalyptic vibe with smoke and ash lingering in the air. Objectives are scattered across the city, requiring players to navigate between shattered buildings and open streets. Perfect for mid-range engagements and tactical urban warfare. Offers opportunities for stealth maneuvers through alleys and direct confrontations on the streets. Now, we'll see if the West Coast is going to be able to defend this. Right? We have
already.
We have Slum, which is B2 sector, Wichita military supplies stash, office area, and temporary command. We'll see what they do.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting here too as well. You've got a lot of open area. You've got a lot of areas for you to hide. So, I mean, walking on the street is going to be a death sentence unless you're in a vehicle. But there's just so many nooks and crannies for you to be able to fire from, for you to be able to get great positioning from, and then open areas for you to kind of roam freely when it comes to getting those vehicles. Now, something we kind of were able to take a look at offline were some of the stats, and I want to kind of bring it to the attention and maybe be possibly part of the reason that East Coast has been having such a dominant performance here. Now, game one, East Coast had 11 supports, and this is when they were on the assault, the attacker side. Defenders from that side, West Coast, they had 4 supports for that game. Now, when we move over to when West Coast was on the attacker side, and this is something I've talked about before, when you're on the attacker side, you have limited resources, and supports are so important. But when it came to this, only 3 supports when it came to that. So maybe that's going to be something that West Coast might want to think about when it comes to making up some of these compositions as we jump right into it.
Yeah, we are currently spectating the attacker side. This is a University of Florida going at it, and guess what? He's an attacker, and he is using the operator stinger.
Oh, there's just
It's something that we just talked about.
hiding over there.
Yeah, it's and just trying to push their way into it. Ooh, and you can see over there. Oh, it gets caught up there. And like I said, I'm still waiting to see if some of these compositions, if we're going to go into a more support role. It's been so vital. We talked about it. You can't just go for that assault type of class. You're going to need to kind of have that balance to your team to be able to kind of keep your team up, to kind of give you that information.
Yeah, this is crucial. Information is always crucial. You need to provide the information. You need to mark where the enemies are at. And this is when the recon operator comes in play, especially Luna with her crossbow.
Oh man, you see, I think 2 targets down there, looking for that third. I'm not sure he was able to find it. Does toss out a little bit of smoke there. That's going to be lucky. Looking for the angle.
Let's see how lucky he gets here.
Not too lucky there. Still taking some shots there. Smoke didn't really help out. Looks like they were able to grab themselves a position, but already starting to move on to Sector A.
He's rushing, bro. He's rushing. Like,
He's low.
I love the way that he's using the lean peak as well. That is something that I'm trying to learn on keyboard and mouse, using the lean peaks.
All right, get on the side.
We have somebody on our left.
Oh yeah, to get that little bit of information that you need, get that little angle out without kind of putting your entire frame out there to get caught.
I think we went side though.
Hold up, Lucas. I have
No,
like
I'm dead.
spawn filter.
And it's amazing that it's amazing that he's using the red dot and not like a bigger scope, like a 2x or like a 3x, just so you can see more down the field.
Yeah, it gives him great field of vision, and he's not really looking for those snipes. He's kind of, we were talking about this earlier, and you saw from the video, Cracked really has that great like medium range. Oh, as he gets gunned down. So it's got that medium range that you can kind of gun from, so you don't really need the scope if you don't want to. There's a lot of open area, a lot for you to be able to kind of pick off right from the beginning.
Oh fuck, you're in combat. Okay. We just need to get. Okay, I'm gonna go to you, Sabir.
Ow. I don't know where I got.
And he has the comms out. He's dropping the spawn device where they could spawn if they get eliminated. They could spawn there every time unless that device is destroyed. Then he's gonna have to put down another one.
All right, as we can move forward here, you can see that they're kind of moving as a team. I do like them kind of grouping up here. Comms are really good for these guys. We were trying to get a little peek of what they were saying. Very calm, very collected, making sure that they can get that information out to their teammates. And now, yeah, getting up on top of this building, get a good position.
Oh, he got taken out.
Yeah,
he got taken out from an angle. Yes, they found him and his teammate as well. He was going up there to try to revive him and got taken out as he was climbing up.
Can get up to the balcony area.
Ooh.
He got shot again. He just said, you know what, guys, stop coming up here. You guys are getting knocked. I'm just gonna go ahead and just give up and respawn at the location where I dropped my respawn device.
Lucas, go offense here.
Ooh, you can already see they've gone out, and I want to say West Coast taking a page out of East Coast book here, doubling back, able to take down B1, recapture that, and it's kind of forcing a little bit of a kind of a mixed game plan to come here from the side of East Coast. Oh,
yeah, currently oh, look at this tank. It has a skin on there. I have not seen a tank with a skin on there, and that looked pretty gnarly. Currently, we're spectating. Well, we were spectating UCLA. We jumped back to University of Florida, and we know Mav Impulse is a gunner. He has the skills. He's knocking players, and he's gonna revive his teammates just like that. He just dropped the box and revived them right away.
Yeah, and then we've been talking about it. It's so pivotal. Oh man, sneaky, nice little hasty there position, and but too fast as Mav Impulse gets the turnaround, able to get the kill as well.
Yeah, this alley right here that they were currently fighting on it's havoc. I played this map, and smoke everywhere. You can't see where the enemies are at. This is when exactly Luna comes into play. You need to have Luna for this map, I believe.
Yeah, just any type of recon that you can have, maybe even some smoke to kind of separate you, cover your tracks. Ooh, nice little tight corners, choke points coming out, and you see somebody falling out from the roof, all different angles, and still able to get the shot. Reloading, is he going to get caught?
Oh,
gunned down.
Nice play there, nice play.
Oh. Yeah, as we continue on forward here, I mean, this is the game plan. You kind of use your enemies, or at least use the attackers' resources, make them continually try to double back here. You see that they were able to capture the B1 sector, now trying to move on to the next and see if they can get a capture. But this is the plan, and this is what made East Coast so successful on their defense when it came to our last game. They were able to kind of recapture, and that splits the priority of your team of where you're going to be going. Are you sending resources to capture a new objective? Do we have to double back? And if so, are we wasting time with that, wasting valuable resources that we need to kind of push forward?
Yeah, as we can see right now, East Coast did capture B1. They're working on B2, but it seems like the West Coast has this covered. They know this map very well. They've been playing this map. They know where to be at. Now, the great part about this map is that you could be on top of buildings.
Well, and that's where I kind of want to say the thing that I've noticed that has kind of been different has kind of been the vehicle domination here. We've seen a little bit of the vehicles, but it hasn't been as prominent here on Cracked as it has been for some of the other games that they've played here, and maybe kind of stalling their force forward a little bit to where they don't have that security. So it's going to really be on the necks and on the backs of those people on the ground.
Look at the chaos. Smoke everywhere. Man. You're seeing players just running everywhere. I just don't know how they do it. The reaction time,
absolutely surrounded right there too. And that was the biggest thing I took away from that whole aerial shot there, is that this time East Coast, I want to say they're a little separated. You see they're completely surrounded, and then a complete I want to say West Coast kind of forcing themselves, breaking through the lines there as well. So it's very interesting here, just how this map is kind of, I want to say, giving a better advantage when it comes to West Coast here.
Yeah, so it seems like they just swapped sides right now, because the East Coast did capture B2, but now B1 is captured by the West Coast.
Sean, do we have the respawn?
Got some tactical knives going out.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, trying to get some information there. Recon coming up, trying to see where they can get some enemy positions here. Plume of Smoke is out as they rush in, looking for some targets.
Oh, there's some knocks there. Oh, there's a target. Oh, got taken out. Tried to do a drop shot. Did not work for him, though.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. That's basically me. I'll turn the corner and I'll be like, all right, we're good to go. Boom. Taken out, lights out. So I like those support roles as we continuing on here. Man, I want to say it's such a difference that some of these maps make, and that's what kind of makes this game so enjoyable, because, I mean, one map you could be so successful, but the differences, the obstacles, the open roads, the buildings, the little choke points make such a difference for the strategy, and East Coast is actually struggling here. In the past, we've watched them absolutely dominate on the Ascension map.
That is very true. They are struggling here, but they still have 208 lives left. And Lucky is not being so lucky right now because he's been trying to get some elims and the shots are not connecting.
It might have to do with kind of that medium area that you kind of have to traverse. Like, look at that. Like, just the amount of time it took him to kind of clear that street, and then immediately gets caught by another angle here that you have to cover. There's just so much you have to cover when traversing this map. As soon as you make your way across the street, you have like 7 different angles that you need to be worried about when it comes to a lot of these buildings.
And we're currently spectating Georgia Tech.
Yeah, throws a little regen point out there. Is going to throw some smoke. And I want to say, I mean, nice I was going to say they almost lost B1 again, but able to kind of recoup it there. You see they're able to kind of pick it up there. Moving on to B2. They're trying to capture it, but West Coast is just putting up a heck of a fight.
Yes, West Coast is on the move right now, trying to capture temporary command headquarters, and I believe they're going to get it. Oh, no. They just landed on them too.
Yeah, I mean, great. I want to say a great pickup there too, because they both came from different angles on that building. So if one of them got seen or caught, they were going to have coverage there, which is a very smart coming from them as well.
And he's back into action.
Ooh.
Beautiful shots.
Nice. I believe that was like a sonic grenade that went off there, obstructing the vision, trying to get himself another angle here up at the top. Oh, finds himself too.
He came back for revenge, saying, "This is my building. I'm going to go back on top and I'm going to take those guys out." And he did exactly that. Now
just now making our way to B2, and I believe.
Yep.
I believe is there only 2 more objectives that they need to make their way through? I'm kind of wondering. They're at 126 right now. It's kind of iffy. I want to say we're at 50% here. It is. I don't want to say they're at an advantage or at a negative here just yet.
I believe there is another sector, C sector, and it's called. I believe it's called military supplies.
Oh shit.
What?
Oh. Kind of coming out there with that engineer. You can see him on that, I believe that's Shepard. As a man, just blowing people away, finding the great angles here. And 2 more down before he's taken down himself.
Nice shots by UCLA. Courier putting in the work.
I just can't. So many angles on B2.
So there's just so many different angles you have to cover there. I was checking rooftops, and he got sniped from the side. It's just the amount of action that kind of happens. Oh, 3 up here, looking for these kill shots.
That's exactly what he said. There's way too many angles here. They were trying to defend B2, and he just got bopped by someone else.
We're just not.
It seems like B2 is being captured by East Coast at this point.
Yep, trying to force their will here. I mean, there's only 2 more. They're doing all right, but they're They're only 2 digits now of resupplies, and they kind of need to start getting a plan together. Maybe get some clear, concise comms on here to rush forward. Because, man, the difference, the amount of angles that you can get picked off from here is really proving to be a hindrance for East Coast here, as they're getting whittled down.
Yeah, it's insane how the sectors, they just keep swapping back and forth, right? From the defender to the attacker, and then they just kind of swap vice versa.
Look at that stone-faced killer there, the legend May. I wonder if she's actually just looking like that, or maybe there's a problem with the avatar. Just locked in right now, looking for some type of targets, trying to get some information out there.
Yeah, no, she's definitely locked in. Definitely locked in.
Oh, fun. They might actually have a flank. I'll ring around the rosy here a bit. Trying to find the angle, and unfortunately, just gets a taken out there as they are moving. About 3 more points left for them, but sub 58 resources left.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough for East Coast. I mean, they only have 54. They're pushing. As we can see right now, B2 is being recaptured by the defenders, which is the West Coast, and B1 belongs to the East Coast right now.
Oh no.
Yeah, a great job by West Coast. I mean, doing such a great job when it comes to being able to recapture these. They're just whittling down the numbers at this point. Only 50 more lives left here, and I mean, there's just no sign right now of East Coast being able to move forward. So many different angles, and I'm wondering if what the plan will be when it comes to West Coast's turn to go ahead. Ooh, a nice aerial shot here. We can see some lone wolves there on the flank, on the left side there, actually coming in, surrounding, and that's the great thing about this map too. They're being able to surround and doing such a great job of getting those pincer moves onto East Coast.
Yeah, so apparently East Coast finally captured both B1 and B2 sector, and now we're moving on to the C sector. Let's see what the West Coast could do as far as defending. And
we can
this
see
is the
here.
final sector. Yeah.
Oh man, they actually, I mean, this is where it all matters. Doesn't matter how many they're going to be able to get here. Trying to see. Oh man, you can see here Courier doing a great job here defending, finding the angles, even with the information coming out from all these smoke bombs as well.
Oh, got to return to battle, Courier. Where are you going?
Oh no. You get so caught up in this, you don't even realize where the battle lines are. Everything looks like it. And that's just how immersive a lot of these maps are too. Oh
my God, his movement though. Did you just see that?
Yeah, the strafe he's able to do just to dodge some of these shots, get the kills, and then move on out, find another target.
Focus, locked in, standing on business, baby. We got UCLA Courier. Oh, did you see that vehicle just spawning?
Yeah. Oh yeah, coming on down. I don't even know who that's for. Is that going to be them trying to look for to go ahead and grab this quickly?
I believe so. It did land on the C2 sector, and it's defending, so it has to be the West Coast.
Signs of life coming out from the West Coast right now, doing a great job with this defense. Right here, Courier doing a God's work out here, just absolutely kill after kill, angles, and even when it comes to the dog fights, when it's 2v1, absolutely finding these great defenses and these great angles to find the kills.
Yeah, but we are seeing East Coast capturing C1, and they're going to fully capture it now. Yep, that's it. Go back and recapture the Charlie 1. Let's go, West Coast. Defend, baby.
Yeah, this is going to be it for them. I mean, they were doing such a great job when it came to defending, and suddenly it felt like East Coast kind of got themselves together, started pushing forward. There's only C2 left. I believe that's just the military supply. Is that the last stop for the attackers to try to capture?
This is true.
I was about to say, he really, I don't know if his neighbors live in this building or what, but he was really defending that block.
yeah, that was favorite corner. He just took out a respawn device, caught an enemy, and I feel like they're not gonna go back to sector C1, Charlie 1.
Oh man, now he's going to go ahead and start and join on the fray. This is where the last stand kind of comes in. One more sector for them to try to defend, try to get these kills, maybe even be able to push back. I'm wondering if maybe they're going to go ahead and try to double back like they've been doing, which really elongates the game for the east side. Maybe try to recapture C1. Oh, you can see C2 starting to get captured.
Oh yeah, West Coast better go back there and start defending. But hey, we're seeing Courier right here doing God's work, taking care of enemies. They're down to, what is it, 73? Oh, 77.
Yeah.
77.
C2 is going to be going over to east side. They need to have a plan or be able to kind of rush there. They're having issues with it. All of that defense, all these great angles that they were able to find, if you're not going to be able to defend the sector, it's going to be game over for West Coast.
Unless Courier takes out 72 players. Now.
Oh, and this is what we were talking about. C1, they got C2, but they were able to double back and get C1. And hopefully maybe able to use that time when they double back to go ahead. When East Coast goes back for C1, when they go back for that, I believe that's the Wichita sector there, they'll be able to retake C2.
Yeah, it's just going back and forth, right? So they push, they capture C1, and it just bounces back, gets captured. Oh, but look at them finding enemies. Courier's on a different level.
Yeah, he's absolutely just running through the block, finding some man, and finally gets taken out. An odd angle there. Finally gets taken out there. You can see there his kills up there on the leaderboard. Just being a menace for the West Coast.
No, follow your car up. Just keep going. Keep going.
And here, what do we have? We have a tank. You can hear all the comms saying like, "You're driving." No, you're driving, and they're going at it. Tank versus tank. Who's gonna win? The defenders or the attackers? The East Coast or the West Coast?
Yeah, we just got fucked.
Wait, East Coast goes down in that vehicle. Still got a tank to deal with as well. Now that you've just lost your only vehicle that was out on the floor, it's going to be pretty hard to kind of push forward.
20 lives left. They're so fucked.
Yeah, 25 less for the attackers, which is East Coast. Are they going to be able to make noise right now? Because it seemed like C1 is being captured by the attackers. Yep. Hear them? We got those comms going in saying that they need to go get C2. Why? Because C1's already being captured. No one is in C2.
Ooh.
So the defenders are rotating onto C2.
Oh, this could be it. This could be the victory for them. C1 taken down now. Now they're going to be waiting for it to get recaptured, trying to see if there's going to be an answer from West Coast here. We're about seconds away from a possible victory. 6 lives left for the East Coast. They are down literally to the wire.
And C2's being captured by the defender, which is West Coast. And it's a victory. Victory for who?
For the defense. West Coast was able to take that.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Cracked is our map. We are on the map now, West Coast. W. A clap. Putting in work. We've seen Courier taking out enemies left and right. Because of him, it dwindled down to 5 enemies left. 5 respawns.
I mean, it's absolute. The Courier, that was a highlight machine out there. Not just that, but West Coast was finally able. I was worried when it came to Ascension, when I saw them on some of those vehicles, when I saw them on some of those tanks. I was a little worried for West Coast as we take a look at some of these replays to see just how this went down throughout all the chaos.
Yeah, Courier was putting in work since the beginning of the game. Did not slow down at all. Have the hip fire locked in. Does have a laser sight in his assault rifle. But look at this. Look at this. Goes prone, takes out the enemy. Courier was the MVP in this match if there was one.
Man, yeah, I mean, and not just that, with him doing this, I want to say West Coast just had, as I was touching on before, that they just had such a better time when it came to the vehicles. Each time that East Coast was getting themselves on a vehicle, West Coast was able to meet it and be able to simultaneously take it down, which really halted a lot of that advancement coming from East Coast. Not just that, but the flanking and the doubling back, able to recapture a lot of those objectives. It made East Coast have to kind of split up that priority. They had to go back for C1. They had to go back for B1. Every single time they captured an objective, they had to recapture an old one.
Now, I'm looking forward for the East Coast to see how they do on the defending side, right? Because it's a completely different story when you're the attacker, and it just rotating, trying to capture all these different sectors.
Yeah, and that's going to be the story here for it right now is if East Coast can recreate that same type of progress, that same kind of success that West Coast had on the defense. We've seen before, East Coast did a great job when they were on the, I want to say the attacker side for Ascension. They were able to get as much information as they needed and put up such a stalwart defense against West Coast. Is this something that West Coast might be able to, now that they were successful on Cracked? Maybe they have the answer, maybe they have the key of being able to kind of push forward. But as we've seen, I want to say that being able to successfully shut down those vehicles, it's a pivotal role here for this.
Yes, absolutely. Now, as I'm looking at the numbers here, we've seen Courier that had 41 eliminations and Mateo had 49 for the defending side. As for the attacker side, my choo-choo train had 71 eliminations. How is that possible? He's just, my choo-choo train is going down the train, taking out everyone, as well as I believe it's Yancy. Yancy came in with 49 eliminations and 8-Bit Oceans with 59 eliminations. So they were going back and forth, but the objective of the game is to capture the sectors.
Yeah, and I want to say this time, a few more, 6 more supports on the team. It wasn't just a stalwart of nothing but assaults on their team. But I mean, and it's kind of crazy to be able to get 71 kills in a single game and your team still loses. But Choo Choo Train is like, how much do I need to carry? But ladies and gentlemen, that is not all for the action. We will have our 4th and final game with East Coast on the defense, West Coast on the attacker side, right after this break.
Intelligence indicates that Havoc is amassing strength for a new conspiracy. Operators, we must eliminate their plot before it takes root.
Tango down!
Target down!
Requesting vehicle airdrop.
There's nowhere to retreat to. Do not let this sector fall.
Operator Mike here once again from the Delta Force Community Squad. Frozen tundra, rocky terrain, and icebergs. The landscape may be cold, but the battle is about to heat up. Strive to reach the peak and give it all you got. First, secure the beachhead. Your final objective looms far in the distance. Traverse the intersecting ravines, and you'll arrive at Havoc's temporary camp. Make good use of vehicles to launch an assault. Under the icebergs lies a critical Havoc facility. Destroy them with firepower in one fell swoop. Ride the zipline all the way to the top. Before you reach the end, execute a pincer move and clear the cave. Regroup with squad mates at the tunnel gate. It's the only way to the summit. Push through the cave. Up here in the clouds, bullets fly in all directions. Here, the final battle is about to begin. Operators, are you ready to gamble with fate? Operator Mike here once again from the Delta Force Community Squad. Welcome to the strategic heart of the coastal desert, operators. This is Cracked. Traverse the rolling sand dunes, and the ruined desert city comes into view. Cross the highway. The temporary command HQ is just ahead, a strategic hub connecting all routes. Past the stone gate, where the once proud buildings now lay in ruins. A sorry sight. Watch for incoming fire from the rooftops. The battle starts in a flash. Fire erupts, smoke fills the air. Military supply stash. Easy to defend, hard to attack. Opening more fronts is the only valid strategy. Deep in the town lies the office area courtyard, the final line of defense. A fierce contest between metal and flesh plays out across this isolated land. No guts, no glory, operators.
Intelligence indicates that Havoc is amassing strength for a new conspiracy. Operators, we must eliminate their plot before it takes root.
Tango down! Requesting vehicle airdrop.
There's nowhere to retreat to. Do not let this sector fall.
Operator Mike here once again from the Delta Force Community Squad. Frozen tundra, rocky terrain, and icebergs. The landscape may be cold, but the battle is about to heat up. Strive to reach the peak and give it all you got. First, secure the beachhead. Your final objective looms far in the distance. Traverse the intersecting ravines, and you'll arrive at Havoc's temporary camp. Make good use of vehicles to launch an assault. Under the icebergs lies a critical Havoc facility. Destroy them with firepower in one fell swoop. Ride the zip line all the way to the top. Before you reach the end, execute a pincer move and clear the cave. Regroup with squad mates at the tunnel gate. It's the only way to the summit. Push through the cave. Up here in the clouds, bullets fly in all directions. Here, the final battle is about to begin. Operators, are you ready to gamble with fate? Operator Mike here once again from the Delta Force Community Squad. Welcome to the strategic heart of the coastal desert, operators. This is Cracked. Traverse the rolling sand dunes, and the ruined desert city comes into view. Cross the highway. The temporary command HQ is just ahead, a strategic hub connecting all routes. Past the stone gate, where the once proud buildings now lay in ruins. A sorry sight. Watch for incoming fire from the rooftops. The battle starts in a flash. Fire erupts, smoke fills the air. Military supply stash. Easy to defend, hard to attack. Opening more fronts is the only valid strategy. Deep in the town lies the office area courtyard, the final line of defense. A fierce contest between metal and flesh plays out across this isolated land. No guts, no glory, operators.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, the final match of the night. This is what it's all for. West Coast college teams going to be the attackers this side, the defenders, East Coast.
Yeah, I'm pretty looking forward on the defending side. I want to see what the East Coast could do to take care of business here, to defend the sectors from the West Coast. What's your thoughts?
Yeah,
Private.
Oh, man, it's amazing to me, all the different angles here. This is such a unique map. Just combining the different angles, these different choke points that you have, the roofs that you have, and then combine that with the wide open roads that you have to try to get across without getting gunned down. It's amazing. But East Coast was finally able to kind of rally, have like a little rallying cry at the end of the last match, but it just wasn't quick enough. And maybe that's the answer when it comes to this map, is just getting everybody together, forcing your way forward onto these, especially because there's just, if you kind of like feather yourself in very carefully, you're just getting picked off one by one from all these different angles.
Well, you do have a point there, but they could always double back and recapture the different sector, right? We got to keep in mind we have sector B1 and sector B2, and from what we were seeing last match, they kept on flip-flopping back and forth, so everyone was doubling back. They would capture one sector, and then we could also hear their comms saying, hey, we got to go back and recapture sector B2, right? So they kept on going back and forth, but at the end, the last match, the third match that we just seen, the MVP, I feel that is the MVP, is Carrier, because he just kept on racking eliminations, helping that counter go down, which created that victory for the West Coast.
Yeah, and I mean, last match was great too. Came right down to the wire. It was right at the end. They're trying to capture the final area, the office area on C2, and eventually they just run out of lives. And that's basically the game for them. West Coast gonna have to kind of we're gonna see how well they can kind of manage when it comes to all these different angles. For me too, when it comes to East Coast, the big people that we want to keep our eye on, Machuchu Train had a great game here with the last one, and also Rigomers. While I want to say he dropped a little bit in the last game, I think about 6th place, but with all the rest of the games that we played here, he has been consistently at the top of the leaderboards for East Coast.
Yeah, but let's not sleep on Mateo. Mateo did have 49 eliminations, 31 assists, so he was also putting work for the West Coast. And here we are back in action, as the West Coast is being the attackers, and they're trying to move in, trying to capture Sector A.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and try to quickly move through here, through the village, Sector A, and see how well they can maybe get some positioning. And this is like we were talking about. It's going to be very hard because there's just so many different angles once you get into that city that you can be taken out from. A little bit of support here coming from Khan.
Yeah, but like I said, the East Coast on match number 2, they were defending and they took care of business. They were at the B sector and won the victory, took out all the respawns from the West Coast. And I'm curious to see if this is going to be a repeat of match number 2.
Courier doing courier things here, having a great, oh my god, that's a 3rd one in a row right now. Just he finds these great positions and is able to get a insane amount of kills before people are actually able to react. And East Coast is really going to need to be able to find an answer for him if they want to be able to defend.
Well, see, Private, this is the thing though, he's an attacker, so they need to go and capture the sectors, right? Because the defending have unlimited lives, so he could rack up 150 eliminations, but that's not going to win you the game. They need to capture the sectors.
Yeah, and that's going to be the most important part. We're going to see if they have at least a little bit more luck than East Side did. I want to say it was the slowest we've ever seen. Oh, Courier gets caught. A nice flank there on the back from East Side.
We need some smokes. Oh my god.
Oh, they needed smokes. He called out for smokes. He's pushing. He's trying to capture. We got UCLA right now. Oh, they got the respawn there.
People on the right side houses.
Yeah,
Did
they're gonna
connect
go
some
ahead
shots, and they're trying to
very
capture
quickly does
Sector 8.
find the flank there, but so many people there. Is he gonna get caught up too?
Yeah,
Another down for the side of East. A little bit of frustration now starting to come out from West side there.
And we have Sierra here, one of the influencers, playing with the West Coast. Do we have any comms from her?
D-Wolf there. I saw that little triple blast go out there, trying to get some information before she peeks around there. Another smoke grenade goes out.
And there you go. She got an assist.
I have a wall. I do this box right now.
Oh, really? Wait, are you playing Recon?
Oh, no. Nice shots. Nice shots by Sierra. They're trying to capture Sector A. They're almost there. They're almost there. Now, what would be the best strategy here to capture Sector A? Do you smoke all Sector A and just hope for the best? Or do you try to eliminate all the enemies that are around Sector A and just swarm it just so you can capture it?
Well, honestly, you're trying to force them onto the back foot. Then maybe we can kind of get some smoke out there, separate some of those that are retreating. Separate some of those that are retreating while we're trying to push forward. I want to say some of these early ones, these early objectives, Sector A2 being the village, kind of wide open area. It's very hard to defend from that. So you're basically just trying to really push your advantage, like put down that suppressive fire and force them back. Right now, though, I want to say they're doing kind of a good job of defending it.
Yeah, right now the Sector A is being recaptured by the defender, but we have the attackers really close to it.
Can I get back up?
Getting that revive.
There's a fucking tank right side.
Oh, they're talking about the tank. We got tanks. Finally, we got some tanks in here.
Yeah, and then now you start seeing everybody scatter. They want to make sure that they are not making this grouped target. Man, they are really, I want to say they're just doing such a great, you saw that vehicle kind of fly through there.
Look at all those knocks. He just ran over everyone there.
Oh, yeah, I'm resetting.
Wow. Absolutely plowed through them. Ooh,
Yeah,
Courier.
Courier needs to go in there and start taking out enemies at the sector itself.
Man, just the kind of flick that he has there too to kind of get that great scope on. He immediately gets hit, immediately flicks over, knows exactly where he needs to kind of put people down. Oh man.
Okay, let's see.
Yep. He has a shot, he has a movement, he has the eyesight. I mean, he is on a different level.
Man, doing such a great job there. Oh, and it does look like they lose 2 objectives now. So,
Yeah.
I mean, West Coast doing a great job. Courier kind of at the lead there for kind of being able to, he's not just kind of pushing with the team. He's getting a lot of these great flanks on the outside objectives. There, you can see there, he kind of had to pass through one of the edges there. So he's getting some great angles here and definitely doing some great ability to kind of surprise East Coast.
Yeah, he's definitely being the outlier, getting outside flanks, trying to rotate, trying to find people with just a red dot though, right? Keep in mind he's using a red dot, so that's probably his favorite sight. But as we see in the West Coast, the attackers did capture Sector A. Now we're moving on to Sector B1 and B2. And from what we're seeing, B2 is already being captured by the West Coast.
Yeah, but they're going to have to answer as B1. I want to say that's the temporary command there has already been kind of turned around. They're going to have to double back to get that as well. So, I mean, I honestly playing their own game, but the kills, the support that they still have left is pretty, I want to say it's pretty much up there. So they're not losing too much life. They're doing a great job of pushing forward without really taking too many hits. Oof. Oh.
And there goes Carrier. As the B sector is being regained by the defending team, which is the East Coast.
Yeah, they're trying their best here. Man, this is just madness right now.
It's chaos.
All different angles here. He's going to have to reload, finds and downs 2, and finally taken out as he turns the wrong corner there.
Yeah, it's complete chaos coming into warfare here. But here we see University of Florida, your boy Zell using Luna, trying to get some recon, honestly.
Yeah, looking for some information.
There's some smoke.
Let's toss out a grenade. We have some smoke out there, but definitely looking for the maybe that's is it the detection arrow that she uses that can kind of you swoop that over the enemy's heads. You pretty much put targets on all of them, even through the smoke or even obstacles. So I'm gonna see yet.
Yeah, West Coast recaptured B sector 2, and now they're gonna start moving towards sector 1, throwing all utilities there. And get shot from the side.
Throw smoke at the fore. Just as praise and sprays into the smoke. Get shot from the side. That's frustrating to watch. Probably even more frustrating to play.
Uh-oh. So it seems like if sector B2 is being recaptured by the defending team. Oh no, it's bouncing back and forth, and it's being recaptured now by the attacking team.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of crazy. This map just alludes to so much maneuverability for these teams to be able to kind of find these little nooks and crannies to double back. And I mean, we were seeing it before when we got like the bird's eye view from the first game, just how surrounded and how kind of like split up a lot of these teams were. Nobody really had like this cohesive group to kind of push forward. Everybody was kind of surrounded at some points and trying to find a lot of these angles to be able to double back. And then once you push forward and get another objective, you lose one behind you.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Definitely, it is a lot of work. But we currently see that the attacking team still has 215 respawns, which is not bad this late in the game.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. I mean, they're already on to B2, already making their way through the slums and have not really taken too many deaths. But this is something that we saw before too. And it is a comment I made about Ascension map as well. It doesn't really matter until you get to that last objective and see how you can handle it, because it's so defensible. It really kind of benefits a lot of the team on a defense, and it's going to benefit a east side here. We're going to see how well that they can kind of come in there, how many deaths they take as it comes to that point. Oof.
But you said it correctly, if you get there, because match number 2, West Coast did not get there at all. They were stuck in B sector.
He just knew exactly where I was.
Yeah, and this, man,
look at this
nice.
view.
So we get
Look
the
at
bird's
this.
eye view. And this, I want to say, not as split up from as we saw from the last game. The last game, East Coast had a really hard time trying to keep West Coast in front of them. They were constantly getting surrounded, constantly getting flanked, constantly having to double back. Here, West Coast, I want to say, having a much better time pressing forward. They're constantly keeping East Coast in front of them. So and it gives you a little bit of relief, because you have one area that you have to worry about where the enemy is coming from.
Yep, this is true. This is true. We just seen right now West Coast, which is the attacking team, capturing B1. Wonder if they're going to start moving towards B2. We haven't seen a lot of action on B2. It's always been on B1.
Whew.
Oh, look at that lean peek. Did connect some shots. Got the knock. But they got him as well. Unfortunate.
Yeah, and it's just the nature of, we have a vehicle, assault vehicle out there. I believe that's ATV out there, or not an ATV, just whatever it is, it's taking names.
I feel that I want to call it a tank, but it might be an assault vehicle. You were probably right.
Yeah, and we were talking about this before. It was a big issue that East Coast was actually getting dominated on the vehicles from the last game, which really halted their progress. And I'm wanting to see how well these vehicles are kind of coming into this next round, if West Coast is able to better utilize them as we're kind of pushing through here. Now, moving on to B2, trying to take over the slum so that we can eventually move on to the military support stash, the supply stash.
It seems like B2 is being attacked, and it might be captured by the by the West Coast. But as we're seeing, B1 is being recaptured by the defending team as well.
Yeah, trying their best. We could see as we took a little hint up there, Machuchu Train still up in top right now for the East Coast. So still doing work for them, but eventually now West Coast starting to inch their way forward. And as I say that, I see B1 being taken again. This has to be frustrating for West Coast.
Definitely frustrating. And right now we're currently seeing Courier, who had one of the highest eliminations last match, and look at him. He's just putting in work. Oh, he swapped to the pistol, couldn't get him out. He was upset because they dropped a respawn utility box there, and he respawned there.
Yeah, literally, as soon as he got the kill, they dropped the respawn, and before he could even react, somebody spawns there, takes him out. That's so quick. I'd be pissed too. Even had to switch to the pistol, was not able to get the kill.
Yep, not enough time to reload the assault rifle, and so he had to switch to the pistol. Did some damage, but not enough. Not enough damage. And we have the VTuber here, Mia, looking serious. No smile. Well, has a little smile, right? She has a little grin going.
A little bit of a smirk there.
Yeah.
Mia takes no joy in what she has to do out here in the battlegrounds, but it has to be done by somebody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're coming through here through the smoke. Ooh, nice bit of electrocuting there coming out from the smoke. It's gonna go lay down some ammo points for the team, and dang, gets taken out very quickly. Oh, they're coming over the ledge.
Oh yeah, defending team.
Wow.
Feeling the pain. But check it out. There's only 55 respawns left for the attacking team, which is the West Coast team. This is detrimental here. I feel that this match is gonna get win by East Coast.
Well, I mean, we said that before. We were because East Coast was having a lot of problems last game, but when it came up to the supply stash on C1 and the office area, suddenly there was just like this burst of life from them, and maybe we might see that coming out from West Coast here too as well. Maybe there's just this alleyway that kind of helps for them to be able to kind of push forward, as you see them already now kind of pushing their way towards B2.
Yeah, so they just finished capturing B1. Now they're going to start attacking B2. This is going to get intense. Chaos everywhere, bullets being thrown, smoke grenades, you name it. The kitchen sink is also going to go there.
Yeah, your boy Zell there, putting in some work there, finding the angles, looking to try to come forward here as they go ahead, capture, or looking at least trying to get the angle to capture up B2 again.
Halftime's over. and they're working on it. They're capturing B2 right now at the moment while having B1 in their possession. The attacking team, which is the West Coast, is putting in work, showing the East Coast that, hey, this map cracked belongs to us.
Oh man, yeah. West Coast feeling the pain that East Coast had here. Once again on the attacking side, just really being held out on the outskirts there. Oh, he's gonna have to switch to the pistol, and he wasn't able to get the kill, and gunned down.
No, your boys out. Nice work. Yo, let's go. We got the victory. We got the victory. And when I say we, I'm talking about the West Coast. I feel like the East Coast won. No,
they defended.
No.
So that's going to be another successful defense for the East Coast, and a great job by all. Man. No. Man, and when we were talking about even with, I want to say, the precise shooting coming out from Courier, coming out from Duck, they did such a great job trying to press their advantage. It's just, man, when I want to say cracked is cracked. There's just so many different angles that you can come from, so many wide open areas that you need to traverse while trying not to get gunned down. It's so hard to kind of push on there. And then even if you kind of group together to try to flood the center, you're going to have to double back because the enemy's going to be able to get the jump on some of your back objectives.
Yeah, crack map is, like you said, is cracked. There's a lot of angles, a lot of action. It's one of my favorite maps to play indeed.
Yeah, as we take a look here at all highlight reels coming from a lot of these players, but Regomers, I believe. Hopefully I'm saying that right. He'll probably correct me. But yeah, Regomers had a great game, doing consistently, I want to say. I was talking about this before, consistently at the top of the leaderboards for East Coast and doing some great work for them.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, so both sides, they had their MVPs, right? And for the West side, as we know, it was Courier. He was putting in the work, getting the eliminations, and constantly just being him, right? Just drop shotting, eliminating. But that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though. Private, if you're the attacker, you're attacking to capture a sector, not getting eliminations, because those eliminations really, they don't count, because as being the defender, you have unlimited lives. So I feel that his gameplay as an attacker needs to change in order to capture sectors.
Well, and that's an interesting point that you bring up, especially for Courier. We saw him being able to get a lot of those flanking angles, and that was where he was really kind of getting a lot of the kills on the board. But if you're constantly out and away trying to push these, you're not, as you said, being able to kind of capture sectors, and you're not really providing that support for your team when they need it to be able to, especially when they have to double back and stuff like that. And then eventually you're going to find yourself out there alone by yourself, and eventually taking one in the back there. But I mean, a great job by both of these, both sides here, and all of these schools involved.
Yeah, congratulations to Delta Force for creating this awesome game, and for all the colleges that joined, right? This is the first College 8 tournament esports, and I'm pretty happy that we have esports in college, because honestly, like we talked about earlier, I wish they had that when I was going to college.
Yeah, I had to take woodworking. I mean, these guys, they get to play on these esports teams for the universities. So, I mean, a great, absolutely a great event here. Both sides, East Coast, West Coast, they played their hearts out. Unfortunately, I want to say East Coast just really kind of put the pedal to the metal for a lot of these maps, for a lot of these engagements, and just really had a great time with a lot of this, I want to say not more a great time, but more successful on a lot of these engagements.
Yeah, those vehicles, I mean, they're, like I said before, they're on a different level. If you could secure one and use it the correct way, you pretty much have the game won. Unfortunately, we didn't see any helicopters. We seen helicopters on the first map. I don't know if they come out on Cracked, but I was hoping for one. I was hoping to see a helicopter in Cracked.
Well, the vehicles that we did see, I mean, played such a huge role. I mean, at least for Ascension, I want to say the wide open areas of Cracked really meant that if you had a vehicle out, it was going to get met with another vehicle. Whereas if you're in Ascension, you have like these tight nooks and crannies that aren't too tight for the tank or for a lot of those assault vehicles to fit through. So you can really utilize there. I mean, it almost felt like using a vehicle on Cracked had the opposite effect that it did on Ascension, because you're in these wide open areas, you can get gunned down by another assault vehicle, or even the engineers from the opposing team, because you're just out there. So it really, I want to say East Coast needed to find another strategy when it came to kind of pushing forward, when it didn't include a lot of those vehicles.
And that's exactly what they did. So West Coast was pretty close on this last match, capturing the last sector so they could move on to the C sector, but the East Coast took care of business and took out the West Coast with all of their respawns.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, though, I am told that we have a very special interview with East Coast superstar that we were talking about here, Regomers.
Yo, Regomers, what's going on? I believe we're having some audio technical difficulties. We can't hear them.
There you go. You can hear me now?
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Yeah, it was good games. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, congratulations, man. You were out there putting in some work.
Yeah, it was good. Putting in a lot of practice going into these games. Spending a lot of time with my teammates during this weekend. Just grinding away, trying to find strategies, and it seems that it's paid off.
Okay, so you did talk about strategies. What was your strategy? Were you guys using different operators? Did you guys have a game plan, rotations? Talk to us. Let us know, because I want to be as good as you when I get into this battlefield.
Yeah, so we decided that using medic and recon was the best, just for the medic because you can res people and the faster res is so important. And then we were also abusing the recon respawn points that you can put down. A lot of the times we love running onto the flanks, setting up a respawn beacon and just continually running into the objective, just taking as many gunfights as possible, dying, and then you have your respawn beacon right there, and you can just go back in again, and you just try to maximize that uptime. So that's how we were getting so many points from just getting kills.
Yeah, we were even able to see Courier had to deal with that at some point, was able to kind of take somebody down, didn't see the respawn point, and immediately East Coast had somebody kind of spawn out of there, took Courier down, who was doing a huge job for West Coast here. I know everybody else wasn't able to see the stats, but if I can kind of lay it out for you, you averaged over 20K points. The second highest on your team was around 10K, and this was consistent throughout all of the games. And that's not just coming from like the strategies that you guys used. As somebody who's kind of gotten into this game, who's, you said, has already been practicing for the last week, really grinding, do you have any overall tips for people trying to get into this brand new and exciting game?
I mean, just be confident. From one of my teammates, he was struggling earlier on. Like confidence, he didn't want to take gunfights. And I was just telling him, just go in there, take your gunfights. That's the only way you're going to get better, is by building up your confidence. And the way you do that is you just keep on running it down, keep on getting in there. The only way you can figure out how to win these gunfights and how to get more points is just by trying it. And you shouldn't be scared to take you shouldn't be scared when you're in the game. It's just a game. So make sure that you're trying things out and have that willingness instead of just sitting back and just being a heal bot, I guess.
Is your teammate me? Because that's exactly how I play, is in the back, try not to get killed too often. But yeah, great advice too as well, because that's the only way that you can learn, is going out there, taking those engagements and learning how to react and where those nice little nooks and crannies where those people are always hiding there. So man, hats off to you again, man. Like I said, 20K, you did an absolute stupendous job, consistently at the top for East Coast here.
Yes, thank you. And I'd like to congratulate UIC. Their squad was absolutely amazing. All four of their players were putting up amazing numbers, and it really showed in the scoreboard. Just very impressed with the performance.
Nice. Well, there you have it, chat. His tip is just full send. That's all you have to do. Full send, learn the game, right? Reaction time, and you'll be okay. I took notes. Private, did you take notes? I mean, I took notes
on the fact that he gave a shout out to UIUC, which is hometown here. Elini Esports here, consistently at the top. So great job. And man, amazing games there, amazing interview, and just an amazing guy overall. Very humble and a very calm. From I expected somebody there to just like, all right, so the game plan was to go in here, but man, it was just mellow. And maybe that's kind of the secret when it comes to a lot of these games, is to kind of have that very mellow, that plan, and be very confident in what you're doing.
Yeah, cold-blooded, nerves of steel, right? Just being calm in any situation. And that will make you a better gamer, honestly.
Yeah, an amazing game by everybody there. And so, man, congratulations to all the teams here. East Coast just showing very dominant. And like he was saying, some great strategies kind of coming out from them when it came to kind of throwing down a lot of those respawn points, and then just kind of just spamming, just running in there, throwing out a respawn point, then continually coming in there. And maybe that's something that a lot of people maybe might want to take some notes of when it comes to the meta here for Delta Force.
Yeah, so chat, make sure you guys download the game, start practicing. I mean, you could download it on Steam, right? It's free to play. Get in there, and if you guys want to catch some games, I mean, just go ahead and add me. I'll be live playing it, trust me.
Yeah, I mean, it's and this is only one game mode that we showed, and from that game mode, only 2 maps that we showed, and there's so many more available in this game. Like I said, it just came out just under a week ago. So much going on with it, so many different options, different operators out there. A little point that we had brought up before is about the number of supports, the number of recon units on there. A lot of people opted to go for those assaults, but I want to say coming from Regomers, it's not, you can't just rely on just those assaults. Recon and support play so much of a pivotal role in a lot when it comes to getting the information, making sure that your team is staying healed, or even getting picked back up on the battlefield.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited for the looter shooter portion of this game. So not sure if you know that, Private, but you go into a match and you start looting crates, you eliminate the enemies, and hold up. What do we have here? We have an audience cam from University of Texas, Austin. What's going on, guys?
Oh, they're partying. They're excited.
Oh, they're celebrating. Look at them.
Yeah, a big support there coming out from Austin. A great, we've seen all these schools. Like we said, so thankful to have all of these schools. We can run through them again in case you guys missed it. From the East Coast, it was hats. Yeah, from the East Coast, it was University of Florida, Gator Gaming, University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, UIUC, Illini Esports, Rutgers University, Rutgers Esports, Georgia Institute of Technology, Georgia Tech Esports, and of course, on the East Coast, we had our influencer Mia. Congratulations and thank you to those to that East Coast side for representing.
Yeah, going towards our West Coast, we had University of Washington, which is Gaming Association at UW, University of California, Los Angeles, which is a clap, UCLA, baby, also known as Bruin Gaming, University of Texas, Austin, who we just seen. They're the Longhorns Esports. That's where they were throwing up their horns. And University of California, Berkeley, also known as the Berkeley Legends, and the influencer was Sierra, which they did some work, man. They did some work.
Yeah, especially, I mean, we saw a little bit right, but I think we're ready. We're ready to go ahead and see who's going to be walking away with that grand prize here.
Drum roll, please.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look.
And
woo! That's right. University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, Illini Esports. You're going to be walking away with that grand prize, $4,000. Thankfully, coming from a Delta Force, the inaugural U.S. Delta Force Campus Showdown champions, Illini Esports.
Congratulations, Illini Esports. You guys put up some work. You guys got a shout out from Rigor Morris, right? So congratulations. You guys did a fantastic job. $4,000 in your pockets. Hey, what are you guys going to buy with that? A new video card, a new mouse, a new webcam. Let us know in the chat if you guys are watching. What is that money going to be used for?
Man, or representing Illinois nicely here from the Windy City. Just outstanding work. I mean, and Regomers even recognized there. I mean, the talent recognizes talent. Even gave a nice little shout out because I think he even knew that they were consistently at the top and consistently doing work on a lot of these maps.
Oh yeah, congratulations, Illini Esports. Now, we're hoping that there's going to be more to come. And the West Coast will probably win. Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much going on here. We've only just kind of scratched the surface here of Delta Force, just kind of coming on down the line. Has had so much going on here. The inaugural campus showdown here, and so much more to come. Like I said, it's only a week old. So many more, so much more action, so many more different game modes, so many different maps to come. So it's going to be an exciting ride.
Yeah, absolutely. And like Private said, there's going to be different game modes. I was talking about it earlier. It's They are going to have a looter shooter portion of the game. Private. It's a game or type of game that you go into a match, you loot crates, you eliminate the enemies, and you take their loot. And then you extract, and then you have that in your locker, so you could go ahead and sell it, upgrade your stuff. It's really fun.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. There's so much in store for Delta Force, but man, it has been an absolute pleasure to cast this inaugural collegiate collegiate competition here with you, T-Mags. This is Private Dancer signing off. Hopefully you guys learned a little something here, and I'll see you out there in the fray.
See you guys.
Dude, it's so bad.
Wait, is it possible to log onto the target?
Dude, the lag is like crazy. They have like the best ping difference.